Turnbuckle Thursdays here on the Basement Show with Mr. Knast. I am Mr. Knast. Joining us as normally, the center of attention tonight, down below, you have DarthNexxu5.
What's
To our right,
up?
we have a special appearance by my buddy Chris.
What's up, people?
He had so much fun in the show last week, he wanted to be part of it tonight.
Oh, hell yeah. We love it when guests want to come on.
Yeah. I mean, the more the merrier, right, Matt?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you saw how that went on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, Tuesday night was something, that's for damn sure. I don't know if you watched it all Tuesday night, Chris, but we played Never Have I Ever live on the show. And we had like
it was a little crazy, to say the least. It was a little crazy.
But
How many people were there?
we had 6 people on camera.
Yep.
And then we had another like 10 to 12 in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which was actually kind of fun because chat was getting involved so much. It was hyping us up to go further and further with everybody else on the stream.
Yeah, you got Jack Campbell in the chat saying what's up. We got Mr. Ron Tessie with a what's up.
Oh my god, dude. Where is the counter?
I'm working on it. I gotta figure out how to make it more defined, I should say. So I will have it for you, I promise. I will figure out
I hope so. I mean, it would be nice.
The what's up is Matt's trademark. If you're just tuning in for the first time, he likes to start every show off with a belt. So,
well, we do that, and then when somebody comes in chat, we go, what's up?
I love the what's up.
Oh, I do too, especially when Bubba Ray and Devon used to do it,
Yeah,
as they would do, as I
it.
call it, the diving headbutt to the nut.
the diving headbutt to the nut. Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, what are we starting off with tonight, guys?
I don't know. I mean, this is supposed to be a WrestleMania recap. I mean, whatever you guys want to start with. What?
Do we want to talk the matches first and then get into the picks? I mean, what do you want to do? Or you want to go along doing it?
Yeah, you can do both.
All right, whatever.
But the question is, do we start with how the show was lined up and then match up our picks, or just...
Are you going to do it in order from the first match to the last match, or are you going to mix it up?
We can.
Yeah, I can pull it up if you want.
I mean, I'm good with that. Because as soon as we get to night 2, you know we're all going to be like this.
Well, not necessarily, but I mean, you guys are older.
Oh yeah, I forgot. John's a big, the tribal chief guy.
Oh yeah, please, please. Let's see. Here we go. So the first match I know for both nights was Austin Theory versus John Cena for the United States Championship, which was, I guess, just to get Austin on the card.
Can I just say, first off, with John Cena, dude, the guy is unbelievable when it comes to make a wish for kids. Dude, I think he's done more for kids than any famous person out there.
I think you're 100% right. I actually think he is the number 1 Make-A-Wish person to donate and do things for them.
I believe it.
I mean, love him or hate him, he does a great job at what he does. In the ring, outside of the ring. But he's just got this thing where I still can't believe I read something and he said it in an interview. He had his name, John Cena, was trademarked and licensed by Vince McMahon in WWE.
Damn.
I was like, wait, they own the rights to your name? Like, hold up, wait. That ain't flying with me, pal.
That's how he gets his revenue and his extra money. I mean, I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I'm sure Cena's worth a hell of a lot of money.
He's got to be worth, what, a couple mil?
Yeah,
couple billion, maybe, if that.
Yeah. Him and Wayne's probably top tier right now. Him and Roman.
I still say Triple H is blowing him out of the water.
I would have to find that list. We can talk about it a different night. But
oh, here we go. More lists with John.
Hey, what? Like Chris Jericho used to say, you just made.
Listen, don't. First off, the list was a great gimmick for Jericho, considering how he is in his bravado and persona that he always embodies. You know, that little confident swagger, like he could do the stupidest thing in the world, like Stardust, and come out smelling like roses, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, who was he gimmicked with back then? It was just Jericho,
KO.
wasn't it?
It was him and KO.
Yep. Yeah.
Because when KO and him broke up, he gave him the list of KO, and that's when Kevin Owens threw his face through the TV on the Jericho show.
You're right. I mean,
I'm full of useless knowledge when it comes to stupid shit like this. It just clicks.
light switch.
Yeah, there it is.
But like I said, this match kind of way I would expect it. They good back and forth. Cena locked in the STF. He had him tapping out. Referee didn't see it.
Yeah.
Austin gets out, gives him a low blow, hits his finisher.
Well, you're not going to... I've said it before. Austin Theory, if you look at everything that was going on with Vince McMahon while Vince McMahon was truly running the show, it was another Vince guy. Vince found this kid, saw the kid like this. The kid put on a hell of a, hey, Vince, yeah, I'm this. This is my audition. And Vince ate it up. Like, he was just eating it. And then all of a sudden, you get this kid out there, and it's like, who the fuck is going to watch this kid?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. And then Vince kept pushing it. And then Theory goes away for a little bit and then comes back.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't he go away for a little while before he...
They took him off of main TV and was having him doing, like, dark matches in, like, non-live events. And it was to build up his return because they were like, Vince, you got to take this kid off. Nobody wants this kid out there right now. And then Vince brought him back out, rebranded kind of, like a little bit more edge, a little bit more this. And then people started taking to it. There's a ton of people to still say he's a Vince guy, and that's why he will never get over as a main champion. He'll be a low-tier champion / individual that's in some main events in some way, but never that guy.
I can see that completely. I mean, Chris, you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
it's kill or be killed in that company anymore. I mean, you look at it now. You had Cody Rhodes jump ship from AEW, where he was a co-VP with the Young Bucks of all people, and you're going to jump ship to go back to WWE.
And I swore he was going to win. I thought he was going to become champion.
I wanted that because then it solidifies the Rhodes name, but also it was that passing of the torch. Let Roman be injured during the match, fake injury, of course.
Right.
Let him take some time off. Let the boys try and run roughshod. They can't. One night where it's a big battle, head of the table comes back. They start getting jumped by everybody, and then all of a sudden, if you smell, hits, and then The Rock comes out and defends the family. And now it's all them in the ring fighting everybody. That would have wowed me.
Yeah.
I could see that, but
So, what did you think of this match? I mean, we grading on a 1 to 10 scale, or
I could have done without
F
it.
to
To
A?
be honest, I could have done without it.
Yeah,
I could have too. I would give that match like on just it being a match an F. Like I would give it an F. It's
no
the skill though was good. The back and forth was good. I'll give that about a D C. But the whole match in total F.
Good evening, Curtis. Thanks for popping in tonight.
Curtis, what's up?
As Matt says. But, no, I agree. I don't think this match was really needed. There was no, gimmick behind it. It's just to get John Cena's name out there again. Austin have some type of WrestleMania match. But, yeah.
How many people did you hear cheering for Cena?
Well, you get the normal, let's go, yeah. Cena sucks.
But do you know they pump audio? And this is what I found out being at a live show before. I've been at a live show where the pop happens and it's like right after the pop. And then I go and watch that same show and it's like, there's the pop, but it's like, and it's like, that's not what was happening. Are you serious? So they pump extra into the arena to try and get fans more pumped up or make it seem like it's a huge deal when it's kind of not, but it is. So, I mean, Cena coming out, the pop is always going to be electric. He is, synonymous with WrestleMania.
True.
But there's a few times it's like, do we really need Cena back? No. Yeah, do I want Cena back? Hell no.
So who's going to be the next opponent for what's his name?
Who, Reigns?
No, not Reigns. The
Austin Theory?
Yeah, who's going to be the next guy to go through Austin Theory?
John, you got our notes still on what our backup our asterisks were on this, because we had theories and the asterisks were part of it.
No, well, in this match we just had both Austin Theory winning straight up.
We didn't have any theories. I think the theory was that if Cena won, it would have been Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley's still that mid-card wrestler right now. Bobby Lashley going after Cena to get the title. I kind of see Ricochet, now that the tag thing is over with Strowman, I see Ricochet's little push that he had. I could see Ricochet going after Theory for the title. And I could see Ricochet wearing that title. I mean, Ricochet is one hell of a competitor.
Yeah, they pushed Bobby Lashley. Now that he won that Andre the Giant Battle Royale on SmackDown.
Yeah, I get that too. I mean, in all honesty, you know, it at that point in time, it's who's who. So
yeah, we got Curtis on Twitch now saying what's up. So we got
oh my God, well, yeah, we're never gonna hear the end of the what's up. I'm telling you, it's here to stay, bro. People, a bunch of people told me it was corny, and I'm like, bro, are you serious? I was like, I really don't care if it's corny or not, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's Matt's trademark, as I put it, right, Matt?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't wait to start getting paid for this, you know.
Anytime.
That would be a great day. The day they go, hey, every time you say what's up, you get $1. Like, all right, I'm down.
So after the Austin Theory John Cena match, you had Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
That was a great match.
Before we get into this, I got a backside story I saw which made me piss my pants. As we all know, him and Becky Lynch are together, married, and have a kid.
Uh-huh.
Did anybody see what he came out in?
Yes.
Before he went out, when he went out and he got into it, Becky comes out of the locker room and goes, "Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh my God, I want that so bad." And I'm cracking, I'm dying. I'm like, I love Becky Lynch. Fucking great competitor. I'm dying as she's saying this, and I'm watching him go, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you are not going to walk out that. And he did it so well. I mean, he pulled it off. I mean, hats off to him for pulling something like that off.
But I had been talking to Chris Saturday night watching WrestleMania. Like, they cut away from him real quick. But what the heck was he wearing underneath his jacket?
He was wearing.
Did you notice how fast he took it off though? Once he came down the aisle.
Because they probably told him as soon as you get out there, it needs to come off. Because it was John. You ever seen Fifth Element?
Yes.
Okay, you know how she's got the strap. Is
that what that was?
But it was like this thin, and it was pink. It was like hot pink leather. Pink. Oh my God! I was like, is he? No. And then he took it off, and I was like, okay, thank God. What the hell was going on there?
Matt, Curtis says he'll send you a pancake with syrup every time he says it.
All you got to do is send me maple syrup, bro. I don't need no pancake. I'll just start chugging it. It'll be a Stone Cold beer bash with maple syrup. Ah. Oh, God. So, with this match, what'd you think, Chris? I want to hear.
I thought it was a great match. I think that what's his name? He's a great competitor.
I kind of agree with the statement. I mean, they both did a great job during it, except for one thing. I can't stand Logan Paul.
Well, I can't stand him either, but him in the ring, man, he's just I think he should wrestle more often.
I kind of like the Ricochet moment. I'll give it that. For being a YouTube sensational star, to go that, let's go, and then cross-body into each other that hard and fast, I'll give him props. That's about the only thing I give him. Now, the best part of this match was Seth Rollins pulling KSI onto the announce table as Logan Paul goes off, and they both land, and I'm like, please tell me both of them are hurt. Please tell me they're both getting taken out in stretchers.
Well, the funny thing is, me and Chris actually said the same exact thing at the same exact time. The rise and fall of Prime Energy drink in 1 minute.
Yes. I mean, it was a good match. It's just I don't see Paul being a big time competitor, even if he made the leap over. For me, he would have to be that gimmick guy that's like a hype guy on the sideline for like somebody like Seth Rollins, somebody like The Miz or something like that, and every once in a while get involved. To be an everyday wrestler, I wouldn't. I'd probably shut off my TV.
Yeah, I just think he's great in the ring. Like last time, few times I've seen him wrestle, like I think he looks like just there's other guys that are in the ring wrestling. Like you would never know. Like if you just turned it on TV and be like, "Oh, what's this guy?" You would never think that he's not a wrestler.
Yeah, he's got skill. I mean, the athleticism he was showing off was undeniable. But at the same time, it's like, is Triple H and WWE just really getting this gimmicky? Like, you got to take a YouTube hot sensation star whose drink is flying off the shelves and just go, "Hey, man, before this, we brought you in on this. Now we really want to bring you in." Like, is it getting to the point where the gimmick has to be, kids' popularity? You're not a wrestler, but we're bringing you in, I mean, because, if that's the case, your boy is always ready to sign up, Triple H. I mean.
Yeah, who knows?
So what did you grade this one, guys?
I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was up
8 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm going 7 or 8.
I'm going with a B minus.
Like a B?
Just because B minus. I mean, I loved Seth's entrance. I loved the fucking puffy robe. It was comical, but it was still like, holy shit, he's brave enough to walk out in that? Fine. Well, whatever. I do give props to Logan on what he did in the ring against a seasoned veteran. And I think the fact that Rollins is that good to work with people that don't necessarily have the, I want to say, A-list ability like some other wrestlers and him have, but he can work with that and make it look better, bring it that much better. Yeah. I think he brought out a side of Logan Paul that nobody ever thought they'd see in the ring.
Yeah. So yeah, B minus. I would agree with that.
No, but my question for Logan Paul, was he trying to make fun of Shawn Michaels with that entrance?
I think what he was trying to do was it's one of two ways, because technically he is that asshole, just like his damn brother. He was probably doing it to be like, oh, I'm paying an homage, but at the same time, like, haha, F you, guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, who cares? I mean, his entrance wasn't the thing. We all wanted to see, a lot of people wanted to see him get his brains kicked in. We all thought the curb stomp was going to come earlier in the match, and I was hoping it was on a chair. Introduced by the Prime bottle before we found out it was KSI. But I will say this, KSI's face as Logan Paul, if you slow it down as you see him coming in, the look on his face at first is like he knows it's coming, but it's like pure terror in his eyes. Like, holy shit, this is happening.
I mean, I hope that thing had some padding in it.
You know it did. I mean, the way they landed, of course we all know, we've all been wrestling fans since our childhood. We know things break away for a reason. But when he landed on him, all I kept thinking was there's so much foam there, neither one of them's getting hurt. And I think that's why they did it that way, instead of Rollins ripping the bottle off of KSI and then slamming him down on the thing and then Paul jumping on him, was because they didn't want either one to get hurt, because it was such a high-risk move with an untrained professional.
True.
Yeah. True.
But I also noticed throughout the weekend, in the last couple of Raws especially, like, people who are going through these announce tables, you don't see the airbags anymore.
There's a reason why. They don't use the airbag no more. What they do is, it's just like the old ECW and WCW days with the tables from underneath the ring. What they do is they put a nice slice in it, just deep enough to where it'll collapse. Now, on the support edges, they have little wedges, so that when you land on top of it, the pressure pushes the wedge, and the wedge shoots it out. Or they have the ones that collapse in because they put the wedge on top, so it looks like this, so it folds inward.
Okay.
Yeah, those desks are made to collapse like that. They set them up,
which is great.
Hurt.
That's like if anybody watched TNA, the cowboy James Storm. That man had a beer bottle every time he came out when he was with I can't remember his name now. Bobby Roode. when they were beer money. And he had this glass bottle, and there was liquid in it, and he would smash it on people's head. That's not real glass. That's what they call candy glass. It's fake. But it looks so real and realistic that it's like, holy shit. But the table thing, man, that's just one of those tricks of the trade where they went from doing it this way, like sawing it, and then they were putting them down, and a bigger guy, the weight was collapsing on them as soon as they put it on it before they could do a move. Or the legs are supposed to fall off inward or outward, and they weren't because the screws were loosened, or they used shorter screws, and as soon as they put it down, because they were a little rough with it, they didn't test it first, it went bam and would fall. So they had to find different ways to do it. Announce tables were hard when they were using the airbags to compress air, having somebody go, okay, he's landing, pop, out.
Yeah.
It became, now you see the airbag, now you hear the airbag. We want it to be more realistic.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know if Vaughn sent you the same video he sent me, but I'll have to send it to you after the show. Someone messed up in Ring of Honor, and the injury was pretty gnarly.
There's been a couple botches. You know me, I've been watching AEW on Wednesday nights because there's nothing really to do. So while I was eating dinner last night, I was watching Ring of Honor, and I wanted to see one thing happen. And not to get off topic real quick, but one of my favorite things in this world, other than DX, is the Bullet Club. And last night, Juice Roberts was supposed to get into a match with, what the hell's his name? Because I can't stand the guy either. And all of a sudden, as Juice Roberts is supposed to come out, instead of Juice's music playing, the Bullet Club emblem comes up with the Switchblade Jay White's music playing. Juice Roberts goes in, side attacks him, and they demolish him, and they both put their guns up to each other and go like that. It is now true, Jay White, Switchblade, is in AEW, and the Bullet Club is now in AEW.
I did read that. So.
And I'm going to tell you this, one of the most dominant factions, if you ever look at leaders of it. One of which is in a match we're going to talk about tonight. Spoiler alert from last night.
Okay, well, once I say it, I'm sure you'll let me know.
Oh, of course I will. Chris probably already knows. Chris is over there like, I got the insider scoop on that one.
But I don't know if the male tag team match was next or Damage CTRL.
Do whatever first. It don't matter. That was one of those non-matches that needed to happen, but it shouldn't have been the way it was.
All right, then we'll talk about it. The original was versus CTRL.
I wish my asterisks would have happened. I wish somebody would have turned. I really do.
They're saving that. I told you that.
I know, but I wish they would have turned at the grandest stage of them all. Have, like, Trish just, like, knock the shit out of her.
Fair enough. I mean, I was talking to Chris, like I said, I was talking to him most of Saturday night, and it seems like Bayley's not 100%.
No. I think she's fighting off injury that is unbeknownst to anybody outside of the medical staff and upper.
Well, because she's still coming back from that torn ACL, so it's like, is that still bothering her or what? Because, like, her ring time has dropped tremendously since she got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody's does. I mean, if you're able to go, but you're limited to what the doctors say, they try and keep you in just like, okay, you can go. Don't overdo it. We don't want you lifting heavy. You can do these exchanges and then quick tag out, you know?
Yeah, that's why I think she's in a lot of, like, group matches instead of singles matches.
That's why they're not making a run with the title with her. Because otherwise she'd be in the title picture again against somebody like Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. You know, she'd be in that title hunt. But right now, because they put her with a faction, she's kind of right now being that valet / I can wrestle here and there type. Which is good. You're keeping her relevant, but
right.
How much do you really want to push an ACL that could possibly tear again?
Yeah, okay. You make a good point.
So that match, I will get into that. I was thoroughly surprised at how well it went.
Okay.
I thought there'd be a lot more though. I'm probably grading this one at about an 8. So I'd say like a solid B plus.
Yeah, I believe that the women's matches, they do a phenomenal job with them. I think they've been a lot better from past WrestleManias and past pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, definitely. I mean, you remember when they were just valets or, accent people pulling somebody off the ring, cheap shotting somebody. And then when it was women actually in the matches, it was, and Johnny might actually need a towel after this. Bra and panties match, bra and panties match, bra and panties match. I mean, we've come a long way in seeing them actually go to what they do. But I mean, also with the regard to, I would honestly say I would probably put half of those women up against half of the men, and I would probably take half the women on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially like people like Becky Lynch.
I mean, Becky Lynch, Dakota Kai. Oh, my God. Dakota Kai, she's got a big future ahead of her if she can just get more consistent.
Yeah, Io Sky's the same way.
Yeah, yeah. Roxy LeBeau.
Roxy LeBeau.
What's her name? Who's the other one?
He has a lot of Rachel Raquel's up and coming.
Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has a bright future. I just think her personal life is what's they're keeping that to her. Like, hey man, listen, you can't be out there posting your ass on every picture.
Well, that's why they got
You're with the WWE. It's like, wait a second. She can't post her ass, but Vince has walked out and put his hand on Sable's ass bare.
Yeah.
So what the hell's the difference if she's posted it?
True. I mean, that's why they actually got rid of Mandy Rose from NXT, because she had crossed that forbidden line with the stuff she was doing.
But then again, in this day and age, sex sells. It always has.
Well, especially in the WWE days. I mean, that's what Vince wants. He wants his women to be able to sell themselves too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And I think that's why he's gotten in a lot of trouble he has gotten into.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, look at how old Vince is. Did you see the video of him the other day during the acquisition?
Don't get me started about Vince, man, because the more I see that guy, the more he looks like Hitler.
Did you saw the eyebrows and the mustache, right?
Yes.
It was almost like he was trying to be Walt Disney, for crying out loud. I saw the color and I'm like, who do you think you are? You ain't representing Mickey Mouse here unless you're talking about her jubblies being in your face as the ears. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, he looks scary, man, with the dyed hair.
Oh my God, he looked so bad. It looked like they went and painted this stuff on right before he went live. It wasn't like it was even dry yet. It was like, Vince, you could have done that like a week in advance so the color's just starting to like come out a little bit so it looks normal, not fucking like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? So everybody's grading this one good then, right?
Yep, and we both had the originals winning, so.
So wait, what's the tab right now?
Well, we both had Seth, we both had the originals, and we both had Theory. So.
Okay, so we're tied. You better keep track of this.
It's 3-3.
So it's 3-3.
Yep. But
what do you guys have a bet on what matches we're winning?
Yeah.
We just did our picks, and
we're
just seeing who wins at the end, and whoever's declared the winner.
The last thing I'll say about that women's match is, Trish, if you're going to wrestle, wear something a little bit higher up.
No, Johnny. Don't you take this away from us 90s kids that were like,
I'm just saying the whole PG, which I will get into
PG.
later.
They were PG, and then they went PG-13. As soon as they went PG-13 again, they got all this viewership back, and it was good for months, and then it was like PG again. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Vince looks like he is going to tie somebody to the railroad tracks with a black cape.
Snidely Whiplash look. That's freaking great.
That's Ron's comment.
Oh my God.
So,
that was good. Mr. Tessing, you are the man.
3-3 right now. Let me just update my tally.
3-3, huh?
Yeah.
I have a theory on who won, but I'm kind of scared.
All right, the next match was the Mills Tag Team match. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Alpha Academy versus the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders.
You won this one.
I did.
Just saying, you won this one.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
No, I did. No, I did not.
Who did you take?
I took Strowman and Ricochet.
Oh shit, that's right. I took the Viking Raiders.
You did?
I thought you took Street Profits, dog.
Nope, we were going back and forth.
Okay. I will say this. I was very impressed with that match. I really was. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a shit show, but at the same time, the Viking Raiders have been getting a decent push lately again, which I love.
Yeah.
I think they both have some talent there that could go on to rival like the Steiner brothers. You know, the Street Profits are getting a huge push. Ricochet and Strowman individually are getting pushes, but as a tag team, they were like, all right, we're giving you a push. And Alpha Academy, I mean, it's just, to me, that's such a gimmick. It's one of those gimmicks that doesn't work.
Shush!
Oh boy, here we go. I knew that was coming.
I mean, but in real life, Otis and Chad Gable are actually best friends, so I could see them wanting to try to keep them together.
But it's kind of like you're trying to make them like the new Enzo and Cass.
How you do it?
And let me tell you something. There's nobody, I don't care what tag team it is, that could do it like those two did.
Not on the mic.
Not on the mic, not the way they were in the ring. Enzo played that helpless victim role because he was so small. And, you know, Cass was the savior, the big wrecking machine. You know, it was great back and forth between them. I give credit where credit's due. Chad Gable, a great freaking wrestler. Great wrestler. Otis, with his promo skills, with the funniness of it, because he's a comedian about it, is great.
Bob says it's like a short and fat Brooklyn brawler.
Oh my God. We went the Brooklyn Brawler route? Really? Oh my Lord, help me.
The only thing I'll say about Otis, about that match with Otis, don't eat as much food as you did before the match, because I don't know if you guys heard or not, but he had an accident.
We've seen that in the ring before, though.
Yeah, but his was noticeable because he's wearing that singlet. Like, I mean, someone was blasting him. I don't get behind it, but someone had made a big deal of him shooting himself.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what kills me though? A lot of the food things with bigger guys like that before a match, like you see them eating it, but most of it's for like TV camera shot, you know, just to make them seem like they're this person that needs to constantly eat or whatever. But like off the camera before the show, he only had like maybe a bite of this, that handful of this, and that was it.
True.
You know, and most of it he spit out. I mean, some of the people we've heard about that are having the accidents, they're like, they use the food gimmick because they don't want them to know that the wrestler like had like either a distress in their stomach beforehand or got hit a certain way and it knocked something loose, or, you know, or they were just sick that night and nobody knew about it. You know what I mean? Because then that raises questions like, well, if he was really sick to where he was having that kind of issue, why was he performing? Why was he in the ring with other wrestlers, you know?
I could get that. I mean, I will say the move of the match was Ricochet going over that top rope and doing that somersault, whatever he calls it.
Oh, what is it? It's not a sopacita. It's I forget what it is.
Whatever the hell it was fucking impressive.
There's some guy that did one in AEW that was like a 720 or 10 something.
Yeah.
He jumped out and did like almost three full revolutions from the top turnbuckle down onto a table with, I think it was Kenny Omega underneath him.
Damn.
It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, well, the fact that he almost landed it made it more impressive. Like, holy shit.
I give this match a solid A. I mean, it was there. It had curb appeal. It had, you know, as you said, moves of the match. It had a lot going into it on who's going to be challenging who for the titles, you know?
Yeah, and we saw that Monday night after WrestleMania, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see them do more with Ricochet and Braun Strowman. I think they're a good tag team.
I would love to see, and this is kind of weird to say it this way, I would love to see Ricochet and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that would be a good one too.
I would love to see two high flyers again, like how Eddie and Ray were, going up against these bigger guys and finding a way, like through quick tags, drop down knee drops, toe grabs, and all this, and then come off the top rope after the tag, leg drop, stuff like that. Because in all honesty, you get that quick wow factor from them. Like all of a sudden, you got Braun Strowman. They both come off missile drop kick, knock them into the corner. They both come up with running knees. They both suplex him out of the corner. One lays on top for the pin. The other one goes to the ropes, jumps off. As he gets thrown off, he lands right on him. You get that wow factor plus that strength of Strowman even more by throwing a guy up in the air like 5 feet.
Well, that's like with the Street Profits, how they finished the match. Like, he caught him on his knees, held him, and then here comes Montez Ford flying off the top rope. And
that was a great move.
Oh yeah, he's doing some height with that frog splash, dude. I'm telling you.
Kind of.
He gets up there. Like that's like RVD up there.
Yeah. So nobody gets a point for this match because we were both wrong. The next match.
Hold on, I need a little Mountain Dew.
Okay. Oh, well, I think he's drinking Mountain Dew too. We got share.
Oh, yeah, bro, I got a 2-liter in the room. I'm killing. So.
I got a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, buddy.
Pair of Ricochet with the Profits, Montez Ford, and him do double corner spots. That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, kind of dangerous, but yeah.
Yeah, I like this. For me, it's a solid A. It's a solid A.
No, it was a very entertaining match for sure. I'd say A minus, B plus.
Okay.
Chris?
Yeah, I give it an A.
All right. The next one is your first asterisk of the night in a match. I actually enjoyed this match. I won't lie. The only thing I hated about it was Dominic Mysterio's entrance.
Oh, dude. You know what?
The whole convict thing, having the lucha mask on.
Yeah, but did you see which lucha mask it was?
It was like a black.
Do you remember the Phantom comics? He was the guy who lived in the jungle dressed in all purple and black. That was Ray's Phantom mask from when he did the Phantom one dressed in the all black and purple.
I remember.
So when I saw the police car, as I saw the lead up where he's fighting with the cops, I'm like, oh, really? We're going this way with it? When he got out, the first thing you got to do, kid, is know where the camera is, number one. And number two, if you have a hood on, having to go over something and you're going to flip it back, make sure it's not so far forward, or at least have like a grip back here. So when you go like this, have like a tag or something so that the officer behind her who's got his hand behind you can go like this and it pulls off your head so it doesn't get stuck right here. And then you got to go like this yourself because you were trying to flip it and look cool. I kind of liked the entrance because I was like, all right, he's wearing Ray's shit. He's coming out like he's a hard-ass juvenile delinquent. And then I was like, okay, now I'm over it. I thought it was cool, the gimmicky at the front, and I was like, okay, this ain't bad. It ain't bad. But, again, it's Dominic Mysterio.
And then Ray made everyone forget about Dom's entrance and kicked ass with his. I loved Ray's entrance.
I love that Snoop Dogg drove the fucking drove the car in. I love that Snoop was like, I saw the behind the scenes on this. Snoop was hitting the switches in the back before they came out. And I'm like this. I'm like, bro, you're just putting Snoop Dogg in a car with Ray sitting there. And the fact that they came out the way that Eddie and him did back in the day was just priceless, man. It was great. I loved it. It was a great entrance. And Snoop Dogg just made it even better.
Yeah, Snoop was heavily involved all weekend, honestly.
Dude, he did
a good job.
Oh, yeah, I loved him as the guest host or the main host. I mean, Miz I could say was the guest host on that one because Miz isn't really relevant anymore. No. I think he should take a page out of Maurice's book, have some kids, and stay the fuck home.
Damn. Okay.
I do like the Miz though, but I mean, you know, Mike, stay the fuck home, dude. It's about time.
I mean, I think they just made him the host of that because it's WrestleMania goes Hollywood and he's the A-lister.
A-lister my ass.
I'm just saying.
I'm
not gonna get into it. But
what did you think about this match, though? That's the real question I gotta know.
I think Dominic held his own. They had proved that he still has it as well. I mean, they both hit 619s, which was pretty epic.
Yeah.
His 619 though wasn't as good as Ray's.
No, he pulls back. If you look, he pulls back when he does it. He doesn't have the wrist, forearm, and like shoulder strength for it because he comes in when he swings, his body goes low. And because he's coming low, he's afraid he's going to hit somebody in the chin. So he pulls back his legs, so it kind of like cocks him a little bit. Which, granted, I get it. He's being safe. But at the same time, kid, get into that gym. Work the muscles you know you're going to need to hold and support yourself.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can't wait for me to help.
Oh, my God. No. I want 12 rounds, 5. But I want it to be... Randy Orton, Mr. Anderson, and John Moxley. All somehow getting pushed together, and they don't know what to do, and they got to fight their way out of hell.
Okay.
So, but I liked the match. I really did. Like I told you when I said that thing about Dominic, and you gave me that look that one night. I told you that kid is going to be great. He just needs get in the gym, not bulk up, stay that skinny kid, but get the muscles that you need to perform certain moves better. Get a little bit bigger in the chest, get a little bit broader in the shoulders, a little bit more in the legs, get your abs right, whatever, and then you'll be doing good. Mic skills, you're almost there. You've had great teachers. You know how to do it. Be more fluent. Don't be so stiff and rigid, kid. Then with your actual in-ring performance, besides the working out shit, try something new. Really go for something new. Like you use the frog splash, you use the 619. Do something new. Come off with using a snapdragon suplex to set them up into the corner. Like you snapdragon them, they bounce into the corner, and then come off of it with like a twisting power bomb. Like pick them up, spin them, do something. Get something else relevant. Because you keep doing that same shit, it's like, okay, I'm tired of watching you, bro. And he's got a lot of potential. Like, don't get it twisted. Yeah. The kid's got potential.
Yeah, I agree.
Just has to put it all together. So
and that's the problem. He's got a legacy behind him that I don't think is like really like making him think that he's not good enough. I just think it's not helping him that they give him shitty spots here and there. Like you're a backup to Rhea Ripley that night. Why isn't he in his own effing match? Get the kid a chance. He might surprise you.
Yeah, I mean, at one point they did have Damian Priest and Finn Balor come down. It was more Damian Priest trying to get involved than Finn Balor.
Well, that's because you can't have Finn get too much involved, especially Finn being like a main star competitor who basically leads it. You don't want the leader constantly being the one pulling the trigger. You want the cronies to pull the trigger. This way it sets up that factional, this guy's in command type look.
Yeah. And then I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, after what you saw Monday night, they're building a program with Dom and Bad Bunny for the next pay-per-view since it's down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but I like Bad Bunny as like a musician and all that, but I want Bad Bunny to just get in that ring, have a great match, not win it. I want him to have a great match, like something like Eddie/Ray back in WCW, epic, and have Dominic pull it off in the end by like underestimating Bad Bunny. Oh, he's a rat. He's this. And then all of a sudden, Bunny and him go toe to toe and go to like the greatest ends of the yard. And then all of a sudden, Dominic just tries something new instead of the 619. It sets up the 619. He hits it. He comes off the rope with a frog splash, calls it a day, and he wins. Barely wins, but he beats Bad Bunny.
I mean, I'm just saying, though, I won't be surprised if, like, before that pay-per-view, that they push a tag team match where it's Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. I could see that happening. I really could.
Right now,
It's one of those things
that
that
would be
can
one
happen.
of Vince McMahon's matches that he makes up.
I will honestly say this though, if that's the case, you're putting them in that. I see it being like, of course, it's going to be a heavy Ray match as opposed to Bad Bunny, and then when you get Bad Bunny in there, it's going to be all right. Bad Bunny suplexes him. Bad Bunny hits the DDT. Bad Bunny comes off the top rope with a elbow drop or a frog splash or something, and then Ray gets tagged in. And then Ray's going to knock him out with a 619. Bad Bunny's going to come off the top with another frog splash, and it's going to be a win. And then that sets up the feud, Dominic going after Bad Bunny, and then it happens in Puerto Rico, and then it's going to be, everybody's not going to want Bad Bunny to lose in Puerto Rico. But if you do, you're going to get that anger pop, especially if it's by crook. Like, Mommy comes out and sweeps the leg of Bad Bunny, and,
Well, that's actually leading into our next match, which was Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
That was an excellent match.
That was, yeah, I agree with Chris. That was probably one of the best matches of the night. The back and forth with them trying to hit each, like, get the signature move off, and kept blocking, and just we're doing switches so well. I was blown away. And then once the end of the match came, and you saw that, like, near the end of the match, you see that little bit of blood on Charlotte's face. Oh,
her
my God.
Face got planted in right near the mat.
Oh, yeah.
On that one move.
And what killed me at the end of this was, and I loved the match, the whole back and forth was perfect. I loved that they gave Rhea Ripley that push. Charlotte broke character.
Oh, sitting on outside the ring laughing, right?
Going, like, laughing and clapping and going like this, like her heart is so filled with it. Charlotte, I think it's the end of Charlotte. I think that's why that happened. Because in the only other way they could spin it as she was doing that is that, I didn't see Monday night. I don't know if they were face to face or anything, as I missed that because I was working late. When I got home, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to bed. If they met up face to face, I could see it being turned as Charlotte goes in, congratulates her, and then freaking knocks her out, takes her out, puts her in the figure eight, leaves it locked in until she notices the boys coming down. Then she releases it and gets out. And then that sets up a rematch and all this. But in all honesty, breaking character like that, we've seen it happen before. Triple H has broken character, to console a fan. So have a few other wrestlers. And I mean, granted, at the end of the day, these guys are human. I mean, seeing a kid thinking you're about to kill somebody in the ring, and you just go over, listen, it's just a joke, we're playing, is kind of cool. But at the same time, you got to remember, there's millions of cameras around, not just from your company, but everybody's got a phone nowadays. And granted, the breaking of character shows some humility, especially knowing that the outside of work is different from the inside of work. But to me, if you're breaking that character after that, you might as well just become a softie and become a baby face again. Become the one that they start picking on. People start targeting you, and now you feel bad for her,
Yeah. Well, me and Chris were complaining about how much makeup Charlotte Flair had on.
Did you see the mat where her face hit? It looked like a happy face.
It was shiny.
Yeah, she looked really bad.
Her face was swollen too. You could tell. You can tell she's been having Botox injections and something else. You could tell by, like, at the end of the match where she's sitting there, you can see her face. It's not like it was swollen from wrestling. It looked like it was like, okay, I had Botox injections like a couple days ago and it was supposed to go down by now and it didn't. And I still got to do it. She looked like she got a bee sting.
Yeah.
I just didn't look like Charlotte anymore. I was like, to be funny and joking, I was like, she's actually showing more ass cheeks than she ever had in her career before too.
What ass? I was going to say, what ass?
Well, it looks like she's dropped about 20 pounds.
Where to?
I'm just saying, though, it looks like she's lost weight.
Yeah, but I honestly think that was the end of Charlotte Flair. I don't think you're going to be seeing her in matches anytime soon.
we may, but it's not going to be something big.
Right,
And it's
yeah.
going to be like she's going to start losing. And then what's going to happen is she'll lose a match. She'll lose a match, and it'll be a legit match. She'll go out to her next one, and it'll be like they jump her, they beat her up, or her leg or something gets injured. And she's going to fake the injury and go off for like 6-7 months. And then they'll either A, announce her retirement, B, release her contract, or C, they'll go, hey, come back out of the injury as a valet to these girls as their mentor. And then you just here and there get some ring time.
Like almost like another Bailey.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So I gave this one an A++, man. This was
A+
this
for
was
me.
a highlight of the night. Highlight of the night.
I think that was the best match of the night.
Yeah, I was saying that to John. I was like, that match, we were talking over the phone at some of the impromptu matches that happened. And I said, dude, that Rhea Ripley match, I loved it. It was spot on with WrestleMania.
No, I was going crazy when that match after that match. So like that was like the best match of the night.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%.
I third that. I mean, take the words out of my mouth, but yeah.
All right, so who won this one? We both took Rhea Ripley, so what are we?
Both 5-5.
Holy shit.
Well, you're tied.
And then
This is not good. I don't like being tied with you right now.
Then we had the first impromptu match, which I forget what Saturday was, but
If I'm right, it was Saturday was the Miz versus Pat McAfee.
yes, McAfee.
And I think we both took McAfee, so we both know we got 6 for 6 right now.
Yeah. Again, but I'm sorry, McAfee is awesome on the mic. I give him credit as an announcer, but please stop wrestling.
Okay. I love Pat McAfee. I hate his show because I think he's so overrated by what people think of him. For number one, Pat, you were a freaking kicker for the Colts.
Exactly.
You were a kicker. The only thing good about you was your leg, and you can't use it in the freaking ring.
Well, his finishing move is the punt.
Oh, yeah, but that's the thing. He took it from, so many other people. Now, here's my thing. Mike Skills, he's got it. The fact that they incorporated George freaking Kittle into this, I love George Kittle as an energy guy, but I really, really wanted Kittle to get his fucking teeth knocked out by the Miz. I really did.
That's where I stopped.
Yeah?
I didn't like that part on when Kittle got involved. That's where I said this is going down the toilet.
Well, that's the thing. McAfee came out like he was such a fucking hard ass, and then he had to go over towards Kittle and do the whole high five and shit, and then the Miz gets into it with him, and then Kittle jumps over and takes the Miz out. And it's like, George Kittle, who the fuck do you think you are?
They did it before.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You remember, who was it?
Mojo Riley versus Jinder
Yeah.
Mahal in that
Yeah.
Battle Royale at WrestleMania
Yeah.
34 down in Orlando. They brought Rob Gronkowski over the barricade.
Yeah, well, first off, Mr. I Eat Tide Pods needs to just stay out of anything TV altogether. Sorry, not sorry, Morgan, if you're in the chat.
I doubt it, but I like this idea. Ron says Charlotte eventually going to with Andrade in AEW.
I do not want her in AEW.
I mean, they need
You mess up
over
the
there.
you mess up the Saraya angle.
Huh? Okay.
You really messed that up. Because now you have two people who used to head to head constantly and they were friction together. You bring her into it as you're trying to push Saraya a little more. And now you've got Charlotte Flair there with Andrade, whether she's a valet or not. Now you're taking shine off of one and you're putting them, instead of one being here and one coming up, you got them both here. Which then they go together and then they sync.
True. I could see that. So we both, like you said, both had McAfee winning, which wasn't
That match was just filler. I couldn't even grade that. That's just so stupid.
I told Chris, I was like, way to ruin all your goddamn momentum going from a women's match.
Yep, you're exactly
Like,
right,
yeah.
John. That's just ruined the momentum after a great match.
It was horrible. I mean, what was
Yeah.
that? It was a 5-minute spot for what?
5-minute spot to get Pat McAfee. Like I said, here you got Logan Paul, right? Logan Paul's got, what, YouTube fame, Prime Energy drink. His brother's supposedly the baddest man in boxing now. Okay, whatever. Prime Energy drink. Pat McAfee's show is by far great on the podcast scene. Not going to deny it. But you're bringing people like this in to bring people in. And then you do a 5-minute stint with them. If you really wanted to wow me, Pat McAfee, get in that ring. You and The Miz have a 20-minute bout. 20-minute bout, a decent one, where Miz actually gets real shots in.
Right.
And and granted, you still win whether George Kittle gets involved or not. Right there, you wow me a little bit more. You would have been like relevant at that point. But because you didn't, you're irrelevant. And you made The Miz, who granted isn't doing too much these days.
No.
Irrelevant as well, and you made him look like a fucking joke.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you just made The Miz look like an idiot.
Yeah. For a 5-minute spot. 20-minute spot?
For a 5-minute spot, right.
I'd have been like 20 minutes, and you held your own against an actual competitor. Little bit of a golf clap. But
no, McAfee's last year of WrestleMania was a lot better than this year.
Oh, yeah, definitely, dude. Oh, man. When I saw him come out for that WrestleMania thing, I was like, yo, bro. So, yeah, I don't think this was relevant. I can't even grade this one because I was so aggravated that you went from a great match to that.
Yeah, I didn't give it a grade. And then the main event of night one, we had the Usos defending the title versus KO and Sami Zayn.
That match was
I'm glad
a
the
banger.
Usos don't have the titles anymore.
What's that?
I'm glad the Usos don't have the titles anymore.
I think a lot of people are, honestly.
I'm one of those people. A lot of people are going to hate me for saying this. I do love the Usos as a tag team.
They need to go back to just being the Usos, not in the with the, you know what I mean?
The tribe or whatever they're calling themselves, like,
right.
Bloodline, whatever. Go back to the Usos, and I'm not talking wearing their face paint and slapping your arms like you're some proud Samoans you are. I want you to go back to the Usos when it was the Uso Penitentiary versus the New Day. That freaking match still lives rent-free in my mind. They took Xavier Woods and put kendo sticks and pinned him in a corner and beat the hell out of him. That was probably the biggest war I had ever seen them in, and I was like, dude, they were phenomenal. And that Roman was nowhere involved in it, and that's when I was like, they need to go back to that. Get away from Roman.
I mean, they might now. You didn't see him Sunday night at all, Billy. Well, what?
Well, I have a feeling Roman's going to make an example out of somebody because, granted, look at Evolution. When Randy Orton won the title, the heavyweight title, the world heavyweight title, not WWE, world heavyweight title. What did they do? They were cheering him on. They were loving him. Put him up on your shoulders and then electric chaired him.
Yeah.
And put the thumbs down on him and kicked him out of Evolution. So it's the reverse on that. You boys lost. You got to pay the piper. Tonight, you're facing these guys. Okay, you're going to go out and face him, or you're going to go out and face these guys. And it's going to be a penance. And if you lose, they're going to come back and go, sorry. And Roman's going to beat the hell out of him. And so is Solo. And they're going to leave him in a pile of blood, and they're going to be gone out of the bloodline. And then it's going to be the bloodline just being the wise man, Paul Heyman, who
Jesus
I love Paul Heyman. Love Paul Heyman. I don't care what anybody says. Paul Heyman is a wrestling genius god.
I would agree with that.
So you got Roman and Solo versus Jay and Jimmy, losers out of their bloodline. I like that.
Yeah, but I see it being they just beat the hell out of them first. Behind the scenes, they come back. They try and apologize for losing the match that Roman said in front of them. This is your task. If you don't do it, there's consequences. And then when they come back, they're sitting there apologizing. All of a sudden, Solo grabs like Jimmy or Jay and Samoan Spike. Roman backs off, and as Jay or Jimmy goes to hit Solo, he ducks underneath it. Samoan spikes him. And then they just leave him laying and walk out.
Eh. Ron says he wants to see the Usos dancing with Rikishi.
Rikishi.
Are we trying to make it too cool again, Ron?
Oh my God. That was such a gimmicky thing, but it was funny and it was great.
Everybody. Sorry. But
so
we both
Dude, the best scene with Rikishi, if you guys remember when Vince McMahon was involved and he was supposed to kiss Trish Stratus's ass, and then he had Rikishi come in.
That was a great spot, man.
Oh God.
I still have nightmares about that ass when he used to dump back when they called it backing it up. I mean, that motherfucking ass had craters in it like the moon. Like, no offense to Rikishi, I get it, you're a big dude and you're swagging out like that, but like, dude, all I saw for days was like after a match like that, I'm like, oh my God, dimples, what the fuck?
Well, and the fact that I used to hike it up.
Oh my God, yeah.
So make it look like a slang right up his ass. Like, oh my God.
With this match, I was greatly impressed by both teams. And John, you know my feelings on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I cannot stand either one of them.
You don't like either?
I never could. No. The fact that Kevin Owens had a pop-up powerbomb, I'm like, okay, he came in that night, he won the U.S. title, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, a new relevant thing. Owens fight. Okay, it's a good thing to get people in. The cannonball. Really? That was the dumbest move in, I don't know, wrestling history. And then you get Sami Zayn, the hipster. You know, I get it. It's upbeat. It's this. It's that. You feel sorry for the guy. He's a ginger. You really feel sorry for him now. I just never got it. Like, athletically, they're great. Now, Kevin Owens, great. He is, for a big guy, he's athletic.
Yeah.
The fact that you used a pop-up powerbomb as your move, and then all of a sudden had to adopt the stunner to be relevant, just beyond me. And the haluva kick, you're just running into a corner and doing a big boot.
Yeah.
Big
Blue
boot, right.
Thunder Bomb. Blue Thunder Bomb is just, it's not relevant. It's a spinning, sit-out, flat pancake power bomb. It's nothing. Where's the wow factor?
Well,
Them together is kind of like, oh, we're best friends, we're this, we're that. Granted, it's a great story gimmick to get people involved. But as wrestlers, I really can't take them seriously.
Well,
I think they should actually be in...
of his own.
Huh?
KO used to do the
Oh, yeah, he used to do the frog splash, you know. But, I mean, in all honesty, if you really wanted to wow me, at this point, okay, they beat the Usos. Let them have their little title run. Let them have it. When they lose it next, they go back to gain it. They lose again. The next time, they lose again. Frustration starts to mount in. As frustration's mounting in, have a young and up-and-coming NXT tag team come in and take them out.
Fair enough.
Take them out again. Take them out again. Now it sets up, okay, we got a war with these guys. We got to set our differences aside as being pissed off at each other again, and let's be friends and go handle this. Drop them down to NXT, where tag team divisions down there are going to start running rampant, and let them have at it. You will get more reaction in NXT with those two and a tag team than you will on Raw. You're going to get it now because of the pop factor that Sami Zayn became relevant due to the bloodline. KO became relevant again because of the bloodline. When there's no more bloodline, what do you have?
Sure. And what do you do with
What is your guys' feelings on the WWE tag team titles? Do you like the design of them? Because I hate them.
When they came out with it, when it was the copper look, right? I was kind of like, okay, new direction, kind of cool. And then when they changed it to the silver, and I hate the Velcro. I cannot stand the back of the belts being Velcro. That is so freaking stupid. Now, the design, I wish they would update it. I really do. But I wish they would split them again. Update. I was saying to Johnny, isn't there an asterisk on this?
No.
That they split the titles?
Nope.
No. I'm hoping what happens is Paul Heyman comes out, not, this past night, down the road and goes, boys, we have something to talk about in this tag team division. Did you read the contracts you signed? It shows you only get one of the titles. You have to defend for one of them. So they got to defend it, and the Usos will win it, or somebody will win it, and somebody will have it. And I think it'll be the Usos. The Usos will probably wind up taking the Raw one. They'll wind up with a SmackDown one. It won't be an undisputed thing unless Triple H comes out and goes, hey, this division is getting back to where we need it to be. Slam it together. Here's the new belts. Here's the new look. One title for tag team division. And then you have cross-brand tag teams coming in.
Yeah, because you don't need red and blue.
No, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do the whole SmackDown Raw thing, then yes, you do. But do we really need it with cross brands anymore? Because everybody just goes on whatever show they want.
Very true. I mean, I think that's what you're starting to see that more and more, and actually enjoy that. One roster, 2 shows, instead of having one roster for one show, one roster for the other show. I like the mix.
I do too. I mean, I still want to see the draft though. I like the draft. There's always been that anticipation of the draft, and then that like excitement when you're like, yeah, he's finally gone.
Well, to end night 1, Matt, we were tied 7-7.
Okay, now night 1, I'm gonna say this is a plus card.
Oh, what, for night 1 as a whole?
Night 1 as a whole, even with some of the crap that was in it, I'm giving that an A++. That was just like phenomenal card.
Compared to Sunday night, absolutely.
No, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. When we get into Sunday night at the end, I'll tell you how I really feel.
Well,
and I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to Pat McAfee the fuck out of this one.
Oh, boy. Well, we can start it right now. I mean, night 2 kicked off with Brock Lesnar and Omis. Which a match.
No, I didn't see the beginning. I missed that match.
I missed part of it. I caught it as the bell rang, and that's only because my phone started to die, and I said, "Shit, I don't feel like getting up. I'm watching something else." I was watching between that. I was eating dinner, doing things, and I caught some of it on TikTok, snippets and stuff. And I will say this: for 2 behemoths going at it, it was a decent match.
Yeah,
it wasn't what we thought it would be, and how it should have been like a super main event one. It was like, this is low tier.
Well, I'm just reading Ron's comment. I don't know if you guys see this.
Now, Ron just said something about the TV rights. Like, I agree. Like, I don't think Fox can give up WWE. I think Fox has got to stay with because now with the UFC coming on board, like, I don't think that Fox can end up like going away. They got to stay. Would you guys agree with that?
UFC's got to deal with Fox Sports, but also this also brings up another thing besides Peacock and all that. Now that you have UFC and them together, ESPN Plus did a lot with UFC, a lot. So ESPN Plus could be where you're going to be watching your new pay-per-views. And if you get the Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus package, you pay X amount a month, but you get everything. There are certain ones you will still have to pay for, but it's like a reduced rate. Okay,
but still, even if you do that, like even a UFC pay-per-view on ESPN Plus sometimes is $60. So are we going back to that time period where you can only get these on pay-per-view?
Probably, because right now, the world right now is money. Yeah. And, merging together becomes that, okay, now we have all the money. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
But we're going to still make you pay $60 for a pay-per-view.
$21.4 billion worth.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of dinero. That's a lot of money to buy people back that you could really use right now to bring the ratings through the roof. UFC style and on WWE.
Well, that's the biggest thing since Vince sold, I don't know if he sold it, but he had a net worth of that company with $6 billion. Now that they merged, WWE went from $6 billion up to $9.4 billion.
Yeah. So think about this. You really want to wow me? You have all that money now, and Dana White's a freaking businessman till no end. I mean, you could see some acquisitions happening. You're not going to buy out the the cons. The cons have too much money to buy out.
Yeah.
They have money for years after their great grandkids are like adults and having kids.
Ron says the streaming services need the library, won't go back to pay-per-view.
John, you can attest to this. Me and you both used to meet up at my house or, Morgan's parents' house, and we used to watch the pay-per-views because I had the WWE network. And
Yeah.
I didn't pay for a single pay-per-view. I paid for a monthly subscription, and it was great. But the problem was then it came to, what was it, WrestleMania to one time, and I had to pay money for WrestleMania. I didn't get it free. I had to pay like $20. Still, it was $20, but why am I paying extra for something when you're telling me I'm getting all these things on here? It was WrestleMania and like one other one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? So I was like, you know what? I don't need this. Why am I paying $10 a month for this? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, that's what's nice with having Peacock now. It's just like $1 or $2 added to my cable bill. I never even see it, and I get all the wrestling things right there.
See, I'd rather do it the way people are doing it now. Go to TikTok. Everybody's streaming it freaking live.
True.
Granted, that you might see their TV or their cat or hear them talking gibberish in the background or their wife's yelling at them for not cleaning the dishes, and she comes in with a frying pan and whacks them in the back of the head, and it sounds like the time Mr. McMahon got hit with the bedpan by Stone Cold in the hospital. Doing!
Great scene. You got another was up from Gary in the chat before you met? But if you want me to be really old, I remember going to Hooters to watch wrestling pay-per-views.
So did I. I remember them days. I remember them days. Or what we did a couple times was a bunch of people got together, said, hey, you got the bigger house. Yeah. How about we pay for it here? We rent a projector. And this is back when projectors were bulky as shit. Mm-hmm. And we get sheets and we put them on the house, and then bam, outside, and we just put our house speakers outdoors. All right, yeah, let's do that. And you turn it into a party. So basically everybody paid 50 cents to watch this damn pay-per-view. So you had more time to buy booze, more Mountain Dew, more pizzas, more chips, more this, more that. And then by the end of the night, there were broken tables, there was chairs everywhere. Yeah. It was a great time.
Oh, you're saying we need to bring this back?
You're already mud wrestling me, so I don't know what your problem is. How much abuse do you want to take?
Enough that you're willing to give.
You don't want to do that.
Met the Hanson brothers from Slapshot, who's very nice.
Slapshot, yes.
But,
oh, God.
No,
So, what'd you think of the match, though? What are you grading this?
I'd give it a B. I mean, I think Lesnar did.
I think it could have been better. I'll agree with a B, but I think it really could. It had potential to be the best show of the night.
I think Omos still needs to fine tune his ring skills.
Omos is too big. He's another Great Khali.
Yeah.
He's too.
Yeah, I was
gonna
say that
because
was
he can't
yeah.
move. Granted, Khali was getting older, but he's gonna have knee problems. He can't bend and flex. I'm a big guy and I can still get down and maneuver and shit. But see, dodging that shit. Mike Tyson, that motherfucker. But yeah, seriously, he's big to be that guy that send somebody big after him, let him have a little dance. Problem is it's got to be short matches. It's got to be somebody not like Lesnar. It's got to be more like, I don't know, who could you send Bobby Lashley. Because Bobby Lashley, you could sit there and go bam a couple times on the head and pin him. You're not going to do that to the Beast Incarnate. No freaking way.
Yeah, Ron. I think Chris also called it UFC Invasion led by Brock. Remember, I called it.
Well, what was that thing they were doing with WWE? Shane McMahon was running that brawl in the background where it was whatever that was. Let me tell you something. Now that you've done that before and seen that, certain wrestlers could hang doing something that a little bit, granted, it was more technical because you had to be, even though you're throwing punches and shit. The fact that it was like the UFC, you could have Lesnar bring an entire army down to the ring now against these guys and have it go off. Now it's the UFC versus them, but what do you do for match-wise? So all of a sudden you want Brock Lesnar wants to actually go toe-to-toe in an octagon versus this person, Brock Lesnar will kill him. I don't care who it is. Lesnar will kill him. You want to put Omos in the cage against this person? Okay, Omos wins, but it's going to be somewhat scripted / faked.
Yeah. So we've had that one, right?
Yeah, I give it a B, dude. I'll give it a B. I still say this match had more potential than what they gave it.
I think Brock was just trying to get a quick payday and get the hell out of there. Because if you know that was the first match of the night, so.
I still can't believe it was the first match of the night, dude. I would have put that mid-card at least. That was more mid-card than anything. Like, I would have definitely put that mid-card. That's one of those things where you're looking at it like, nah, I'd prefer this to be a mid-card match.
I think Brock had some say in that, though.
Yeah, well, we've seen how he is when he gets pissed off. He throws a title belt at Vince McMahon while he's sitting there.
Or spits in his face.
Yeah.
So, the next one on this list, we had the women's four-way tag team match. You had Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Rachel McCall, Natalya and Shotzi.
Oh, Shotzi LeBeau, man.
And what was the last team? There's one more. Hold on.
What do you mean one more? Oh, it was Dakota Kai and...
No. That wasn't it. Hold on, I'll tell you 1 second. Hold on.
So you're making me think now.
I know. I'm trying to get the list. I know what other team was that? There is not that one. No. Why can't I not find this night 2 shit?
I don't know. What did you do? While you're fiddling around with that, I need a Mountain Dew run.
I'll get it.
He's going for Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
What was it? Hold on.
I might have this whole 2-liter killed by the end of the night.
Chelsea Green and somebody else. Who was
Chelsea Green?
Who the hell was Chelsea Green with that night?
I thought
Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Thank you.
Ryan. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sonya Deville. Yeah, I could really take Sonya Deville and just drive her out to the middle of nowhere and leave her ass and hope to God she never comes back.
Yes. Thank you, Ron. But
granted, yeah, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that, but at the same time, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm not a big Sonya Deville fan.
No, a lot of people aren't. That's okay. But she's from South Jersey, just so you know.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's one of those. I don't want to say like I don't like her, but I just don't like what she is. Like, she could have been so much better if they did different angles with her. Instead, like when they were with the Riot Squad, that was by far probably one of the best things that ever happened to her. And when her and Liv Morgan started really taking off, if they both would have kept going that same trajectory, I think they would have been women's tag champions, holding it for like 396 days, losing it to, like, say somebody like the Originals, sets up a spot for down the road. They bide their time. They start beating them up here and there before like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and then come back and just take the titles as they're, Liv Morgan going, with her tongue out all blue. And I mean, I loved it. The candy during the match with her tongue blue was like, raver chick-esque type thing. It was kind of cool. It was a cool gimmick.
What, like, this match was good for Liv Morgan, Rachel McCall, Natalya, and Shotzi had a great match.
Oh, Shotzi LeBeau's got a bright future ahead of her.
Chelsea
really
and Sonya held their own. The part that pissed me off is you don't see Ronda and Shayna the whole entire match, maybe 5 minutes.
You know why?
Why?
Ronda's still hurt, dude.
Okay, then why let him win?
Because you're setting up that push, like you said when that night we were talking. You said, and I quote, did you not? Ronda and Blazer are probably going to win because they're giving Ronda that push. Now, think about this. The UFC and WWE have merged, right?
Yep, listening.
Ronda is coming back from injury. Ronda's in the ring. Ronda's going to get challenged by a UFC person.
Okay.
Ronda's going to go, she never backs down, but she's going to be like, it's a choice. This match here or fight her. Ronda's going to choose this match here in WWE. This one's going to trash talk. They're going to make it a trash talk. Ronda's going to make an epic return at a bigger UFC and take out and go after the girl. Whether she wins or loses, it's going to happen. Now, with that being said, with the UFC involved with WWE now, does the UFC become what Dana White never wanted it to be? Sports entertainment, where shit is rigged. The winner is rigged. It's fixed. It's cheap because the fight is being somewhat acted like, okay, we know not to knock her out. Just give her a nice touch,
Okay. But keep this in mind. I don't know if Chris watched Raw or not. So you had Sonya and Ronda pick up the win. Basically, did nothing the whole match. Okay.
Yeah.
The very next night on Monday Night Raw, they had what was it? Damaged CTRL come out, and then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez show up for an impromptu tag team match.
So Damage Control comes out,
starts dropping their mouth about how they deserve a title match, but then Liv Morgan and Rodriguez come out after there's a spot with like the champions and all that, and then they set up a tag team match: Liv and Raquel versus Damage Control. Winner gets a tag team title match. Guess who won?
Damage.
Nope, Liv and Raquel.
Well, then now you're setting up the Liv and Raquel to go on.
But that's the thing. Why have them lose Sunday night just to go back Monday night and win and get a tag team opportunity?
It's setting up a bigger story plot, because what's going to happen is they're going to get their title shot and Damage Control is going to come out and interfere and cost them the match, which sets up Liv and what's her face? Raquel, what is it? Rachel Raquel or?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez. She's got a future too. She's doing good.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she's one of those up and comers you got to keep an eye on, especially in the women's division. I see her being at least a title holder on her own in like probably 2 to 3 years.
Oh, most definitely.
Now, the Damage Control thing is going to come back to, they got their title shot. Damage Control is going to see an opening with the ref being distracted. Bam, hit them. Damage Control helps contribute to them losing. So they retain the titles. Now it sets up a spot between them and Damage Control. Then, because it's a 3v2, you're going to watch somebody else start coming out and helping Liv and Rodriguez, and it's going to be a big thing. Then what's going to happen is it's going to be a 3-way dance for the titles. And they're going to make it happen to where they'll probably make it the bad guy wins by hook or crook, and like Liv and Rodriguez didn't even get a chance to even try to win it. And what's going to happen is that's going to set up the bigger feud. They're trying to get the feuds stoked and then make it bigger and bigger, and then have it like somewhat taper and then go higher again. Because they want that wow factor when it actually, the big pop. That's what they're always looking for, that big pop. Now, I don't think they should. I really think, let it happen the way I'm saying. But then, like, after it happens, let Damage Control start getting ambushed by Liv and Rodriguez. Let them become somewhat anti-heroes, not baby faces, not villains, anti-heroes, and start beating the hell out of them. And then set up the match and let them win it on a decent stage, not a chump change pay-per-view, like a decent pay-per-view.
Okay, but what do you do with Ronda and Shayna, since they won this women's WrestleMania showcase?
Ronda or one of them. Ronda doesn't go out and injure Shayna Baszler does, and then Ronda goes on to try and win a singles title against either Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley, which I see her probably going, them putting Rhea Ripley versus Ronda.
So basically them winning the tag team match means absolutely jack shit.
Exactly. the match probably shouldn't have happened with those two in it. You probably could have brought it instead of you could have played the angle of Ronda's injury. They're not clearing her, blah 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 blah, right before the match starts, and do it almost like the Jeff Hardy Matt Hardy reunion where the New Day introduced them, and the OC and Enzo and Cass and the Dudleys and them all thought that they were inserting them own selves in the match, but they brought out Team Extreme.
I remember.
I would have brought out like one of the women's NXT teams who's actually hot right now. Let them get into the match, mix it up, make it towards the end, still have a different outcome like Liv, or even let Damage Control win to keep like a huge feud going, but get that NXT team a shot.
Okay, well. You had Liv and Raquel winning, I had Ronda and Shayna, so I got that one right. You got it wrong.
So we are at what now?
9-8.
I told you I did not like how this was going, and I picked with my brain / heart on some of these because I really wanted to see somebody win.
Now, what would you say? What would you grade that match?
A B, a solid B on that one. The only reason I give it a solid B was because I was impressed with Rodriguez and Liv being a tag team. And I was also impressed with how Damage Control has come from when they started.
Damage Control wasn't in this match.
Or who was it?
Shotzi and
Shotzi.
And Natalia.
Sorry. I don't like Natty. I think she needs to hang it up.
Yeah.
But Shotzi LeBeau back in NXT was fucking dynamite, dude. She's that person you could put the John Cena franchise tag on and let her run with it in the women's division. You just need to give her that little push, that nudge, and go, run with it, kid. And she's going to go, okay, and start marathoning the hell out of it.
What do you say, Chris? What do you give it?
I wasn't too crazy about that match, so I give it like a C.
Like a see you later?
That's still a C is still a good grade, though. I mean, it's not a great grade, but it's still a good grade for a match that really shouldn't have happened. They should have had something better in place of it. But for a match that happened, I mean,
yeah,
right there. It's on that C to B border, man.
Fair enough. So C plus is accurate.
So what are you going to give it, John, since you weren't a fan
what
of
do you
this
give it,
one?
John?
Like a C minus. I mean...
You're actually going to give it a C minus? Oh, my God. I was actually expecting you to go like a D or an E.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, John was going to give it a D.
Yeah, he was thinking about the D on one of those matches.
C minus. Shut up, Matt. C minus. C minus only because there were some really good spots in it. I mean, there was some really good high flying from some of the girls, but just basically keep Ronda and Shayna out of the match the whole entire time, and then out of nowhere they pop up and win it. Pissed me off.
It kind of reminds you of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks at that point.
Yeah.
When they used to stay out of the ring, let the other ones fight, they were too good. We're the women horsemen. No, you're not.
Yeah, and
sit the fuck down.
And then Ronda and Shayna actually did something in that match. It was dumb.
It is what it is, man. That's television.
I saw there was a girl I just saw on AEW last night that used to be in WWE. She's got black hair. What was her name? Yeah, what was her name again?
Paige in WWE. She's now Saraya in AEW. She was the one that beat AJ Lee. She's the one that beat AJ Lee on her debut night to win the Divas title.
Yep.
The movie Fighting with My Family that The Rock produced and is in, that was based on her career.
And then,
yeah, she's over there. Now, here's another AEW one that's in the women's division now, and it's juicy. It's real juicy. Now, everybody remembers Johnny Nitro, right?
Yeah.
John Morrison. Yeah. His wife,
right.
Taya Valkyrie, is in AEW now.
Interesting.
If you've never seen Taya Valkyrie, dude, she is built.
Well, Ruby Soho's over there now, too.
Yeah, Ruby Riot's over there. I can't stand her gimmick. over there are so many women in that division that are worth their weight in gold right now.
Yeah, I can see that. So this is actually a bit of a little snippet that they didn't do, but you had it says Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Bobby Lashley came out, said hi, and left. He was supposed to face Bray Wyatt, but plans fell through.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt supposedly, from what I've seen, there was post like the following like couple days, Bray was out on like the beach somewhere and a fan was taking a picture with him and he looked good, and there's rumors spreading around that Bray either wasn't healthy, there was something wrong with like a substance policy, which I'm not 100%. Remember, I'm taking this from the rumor mill.
No.
Or he was injured doing something outside and they couldn't push it. Or somebody who was supposed to be at the match to be, I think, like Uncle Howdy coming out, like Uncle Howdy wasn't it? There's a lot of rumors around it. I don't know the specifics. I didn't try and dig deep on it because I really want to see Bray come back, and I really don't want to get that thing of, yeah, he failed a certain substance abuse policy or he got in trouble with the law, because that would just mess me up, because Bray Wyatt really, 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 really has a bright future ahead of him. And I really think that they need the demonic gimmick to stay.
I can see that. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Wow me with Bo Dallas being Uncle Howdy, but bring out another one of his family members, like, bring Alexa Bliss back. I loved her.
Yeah, is Alexa Bliss going to go back to her?
I hope so.
With him?
I hope so. I really do. If they really wanted to wow me, though, when they did the whole merger of his people coming together, when he did, like, not after the Luke Harper, when they started incorporating Alexa Bliss and shit, I was hoping that right when Alexa Bliss became herself, she wasn't Sister Abigail. We all know that. I was hoping, because somebody's contract was up in TNA Impact. Her name is Rosemary. If you've never seen Rosemary, fucking, she's great. I was hoping they were going to bring Rosemary over and bring her as Sister Abigail, because then you have Alexa Bliss and Sister Abigail. Fucking, that would have been like, okay, they have the women's aspect of it. Now you need Randy Orton in there again. Because Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt together, the way they were, like, I'm going to hit Sister Abigail. But instead he rolls him into Randy and Randy hits the RKO.
Fair enough.
It's that factor, man. I really think Bray Wyatt, if they can, whatever happened can be cleared up, get him back on there, get him back to making promos right now.
Fair enough. So then the next match to cover, in my opinion, was the best match of the night.
And this is Sunday, so all right.
Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre.
Very great match. I will agree with you.
That was a great match. Yeah.
Very good.
That Gunther, man, that Gunther guy, man, he's incredible.
All three of them put on a goddamn clinic.
Oh yeah, and you gotta see. I don't know if you guys watch like social media stuff on these guys, but I follow like Sheamus on Instagram and stuff. And when he's live doing his workouts in the gym and shit, oh my God, dude, some of the stuff he's in there with, like Damian Priest, Finn Balor. He's in there with like John Cena's been in there, Big E's been with him, Bobby Lashley's been in the gym, and they're all working out. The Miz has been in there, and they're all working out, and they're just like doing the normal guy thing and not normal gym thing, talking. And seeing Sheamus come from what he was to what he is now to what I know he could be, that's why I picked him. And I know I lost, but I picked Sheamus because I think you could have done a better run with him than you can with Gunther or McIntyre, because you got to set McIntyre up for a title shot. You really do. A main title shot.
Well, here's Morgan's prediction for you.
Actually, Hornswoggle's my nephew, so try again.
But no, those three just beat the piss out of each other.
Oh, yeah, it was a great match.
Hard hitting, all three chests were bright red, black, and blue. I think Gunther actually got busted open on his chest.
Yeah, I still can't wait to get to the real busted open. Oh, I'm itching to get to that.
I think that one's next, but like to see Sheamus do that batter that beats to the heart to Drew McIntyre 27 times.
The 10 beats of the battery.
Yeah.
Oh
How
my
the hell
God!
did Drew McIntyre not have a heart attack from getting your chest hit that many times?
Have you ever seen Drew McIntyre's chest, bro?
I have, but still, imagine that much impact on your chest time after time after time after time.
I'm gonna give you the hold on.
Yeah, Sheamus needs a tan.
No. Leave us pale, pasty, Irishmen alone.
But it was a great match.
It was a great match, and I'm sad that they kept the belt on Gunther, but I guarantee you, this is probably going to bring up some like real big controversy down the road. Like all of a sudden, it's going to be I've already beaten you, I don't need to face you again, and it's like okay, face me this time, blah 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 blah, and it'll be a one-on-one match, nobody else getting involved, and they'll take the title from Gunther.
Who they put it on?
I still say Sheamus. You cannot
like
Sheamus could have a title run. Right? Yeah, Sheamus could have a title run. Really, he really could. Don't get it twisted, but I really don't see you doing that this late in Sheamus's career. You kind of got to put it on McIntyre. You really do.
Fair enough.
So this match, I'm gonna say this was the best match of the night. I give it an A+. This was by far the traditional best match, because the next match, if I'm thinking what it is, should have been the best match.
Nope.
Well, wasn't the next match the Miz thing? Wasn't the Miz thing after that?
No. No, the next match after the IC match was Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Okay, yeah, so it's the match after that then.
Well, no,
I think, right? Am I right?
I'll keep going.
Okay, you keep going. What did you grade? I want to hear Chris's take on this one. What did you think of this one, Chris?
Morgan saying don't ruin it for us, so I didn't see them.
Wait, what match were we talking about now?
The Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther match.
We were both wrong on that one. I had Drew, Matt had Sheamus.
And we're just grading this one.
Oh, I wanted Sheamus to win also. I thought that was the best match of the night.
Hashtag tornado problems.
So
yeah, I was disappointed that Sheamus didn't win.
Yeah. Well, so was I. I wanted to see that because Sheamus has been in this industry so long and he's held certain titles. He's had big matches. But I wanted to see him recapture that because you have him hold the Intercontinental title. Gunther already gets his rematch in his clause. Gunther goes and gets beat again, right? But Gunther loses because Imperium gets involved and Drew McIntyre, comes out with Sheamus has got what the Bowery Boys, as we're calling them, the Bowery Boys. I guess that's what I would call them, the Bowery Boys. They come down to the ring and take Imperium out, back them out. But now Gunther's got a weapon. Drew McIntyre comes in, drops it out. Sheamus wins the match with the brogue kick, lays him out, wins it, and then all of a sudden Drew gets in the ring showing respect, and Drew just takes him out. Now it sets up a little bit of a rivalry.
The one thing I did not like about the match is Gunther was out of the match for like 10 minutes out on the side, and it was Sheamus and what's his name going at it, and then all of a sudden Gunther appears out of nowhere and wins the match.
That's what a heel's going to do. What a heel's going to do. They want to win hook or crook. They don't want to be in there messing with those guys that are like, dude, this is a bar fight. Let's go.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I would give it a solid A+ too.
Yeah, I got to go A+, man. That was probably the best match of the night.
Because it had a clean finish.
Oh yeah.
But then next you had Bianca versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title.
I'm so pissed about that match. That's why
I was disappointed in this match.
Go ahead.
I actually want to go back to this match and look at Vince, Triple H, and everybody behind that curtain and go, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah?
Such a waste of talent.
Chris, why were you mad? Let's hear your take on this.
Well, I don't know. between the other girls match, the other championship match, like it didn't have as much. Like they didn't like there wasn't a lot of more action in the other match than there was this one. It seemed more laid back.
Yeah. Definitely a different type of style. I will agree with that for sure.
They really didn't let Asuka do what I know she can do. I mean, I used to watch Asuka when she was back in NJPW.
Yeah.
And
well, John, didn't you say she's like in her 40s or something?
Yeah, Asuka's 41.
Yeah. And she in her wrestling, like when they brought her back this time, when she changed her makeup and everything, she went back to that New Japan Pro Wrestling attitude. She was there. She's on that fierce path, ready to go. And all of a sudden, now you slow down this match to nothing. I've watched Asuka, like, come out of a rope, like, bounce off the ropes. They go for a hip toss with her. She turns it into, as we used to call it, the tarantula that Tajiri used to do.
Yeah.
And I've seen her take high risk. Granted, she's 40. She's not going to take that much more high risk. But as slow as it went, I mean, this should have been a fast-paced match. This should have been a little bit more hard-hitting. The fact that you let Bianca Belair take out a persona that was everybody's loving right now. Everybody's hot on this Asuka thing coming back to her original self. It just didn't sit with me. My stomach was so upset. I actually wanted to puke.
Again, but you made
I'm not a fan of the Bianca Belair being the champion for the the Royal Champion.
No. I think that hair whip of hers, where she uses her hair as a weapon, is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Stupidest thing I've ever seen. I totally agree. If I was any self-respecting woman in that division, I'd walk right into Triple H's office and go, "Yo, I want a match. I want it with Bianca Belair." Well, what makes you deserve it? Got a great gimmick. I'm going to go out there and beat her ass for the next 3 weeks. Next 4 weeks. Pay-per-views in 6. She'll have a week off because I beat the hell out of her. She's going to come back. The stipulations are hair match.
We bring back the old Vince McMahon Donald Trump match.
In the stipulations, you do not have to shave your person bald. You have to cut their hair. Her, cut it just to the shoulder length. Go like this with a big set of hedge clippers. After the win, you've got the title, and you hold up her hair.
Morgan says you're all a woman with no self-respect.
First off, I need to say this before we go any further. Morgan, for the people that haven't watched the pay-per-view yet, why are you here? You know there's spoilers happening. If you hear a spoiler, it's your own damn fault.
She's here to support.
I understand she's here to support, but if she doesn't want spoilers, earmuffs, Morgan. Just watch our mouths, just earmuffs.
I like to harass you. There you go.
I know she does. It's fun having her harass me.
The biggest
It's like my own little hornswoggle running around.
But my biggest thing is that you build Asuka up so much throughout the year. She's 0-5 at WrestleMania now. Yeah.
And you build her up with her old gimmick that people loved, and then you shoot her down like that? To me, that's not the way you should be doing business. And then, you should have had the match a little bit more intense, a little bit more high-flying. In the end, either Bianca Belair goes for a move, hits herself on a turnbuckle or something, Asuka capitalizes, whatever. Asuka pulls off a great move. Bianca pulls off a spectacular and fucks up. Asuka should have won that match. You really wanted to, even if it was a low laid-back match, Asuka winning that match would have turned this match into an A match. I've got to give it a C.
B-.
Damn.
Yeah, I agree.
But what is cryptic about this match, after she lost it, Asuka goes and tweets, maybe I should just go back to Japan.
Yes. And did you see the shit emoji? Oh my God, dude. I was pissing myself laughing. That's old school Asuka for you. She speaks her fucking mind.
And then you see who tweeted back at her, right?
No, I did not see the tweet back.
Mercedes Moné. And it says, come on home, girl. We're missing you.
Yeah, see, the problem is you put her over in, there, it becomes Asuka show again.
Yeah, well, you would have Asuka, Chloe Sane, and Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks, all on the one roof. Now your women's division means something over there.
Yeah, but see, the AEW right now with the women's division oh, no, I'm sorry, New Japan. Because Sasha's not over in AEW yet.
Yeah.
New Japan Pro Wrestling has lost a lot of talent. Think about that. You just lost Switchblade Jay White to AEW.
Yeah. Well, according to SportingNews.com, this match got an A+ on their ad. Don't know how.
Yeah, well, that's only because Asuka was involved in it. That's why.
Yeah. So, the next one, well, I had, what? I think I had that one right. I did, yes. I had that one right. You had Asuka. But
I chose Asuka because I figured that big push she was getting, that was it.
Yeah. And then the next you had the second squash match of the weekend. Snoop Dogg and Miz come back out. They go over the attendance numbers or whatever.
Shane McMahon.
Yes.
Breaks an ankle.
Show me the money.
Blows out his quad.
How is it that his dad blew both quads out in one night and he goes out there for a main event thing and blows a quad?
Because he's 50-something years old and thinks he's an 18-year-old kid jumping.
It looked like it was his knee, not his quad, when he fell down.
They announced it as a quad, though.
Oh, my God, dude. That family in quadriceps, Triple H, both quads have been rebuilt. Jesus. Come on.
I thought, I texted Chris, I thought it was a work. Just to have.
So did I.
I
thought it was like, okay, he hurt himself. He's not going to face The Miz. But I didn't expect Snoop Dogg to do it. And, you know, we didn't talk about this match. We didn't shoot on what we were picking, but we knew who we were picking.
Yeah.
I ain't going against the Dog Father in Death Row Records. Are you serious? Shit.
Well, we both had picked shit. You had actually FaceTimed me asking if we were picking this match, and we both took Shane. So.
Well, Shane went out, so who was Shane's replacement?
Snoop Dogg.
So we both win that one.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg at the people's elbow.
Yeah, and you know what killed me? I've watched. Granted, I got to give it. Everybody said Snoop Dogg looked so shitty doing it. How old is Snoop Dogg? He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
You can't expect a guy that skinny on that much fucking marijuana to be able to comprehend that he's got to bounce and then come off, you know, and especially being that skinny. I think if he would have dropped like that, he might have busted an elbow. No offense, Snoop. Love you to death, bro. But, I mean, it was a little shitty. But you know what, Snoop? I give you all the credit in the world. I mean, you came out of that as the victor, but at the same time, you did a move that everybody wanted to see on that grand stage. Whether if it was by you or by the actual originator of it. We wanted to see a people's elbow at WrestleMania. We got it. And Snoop did a hell of a job all weekend. All weekend, Snoop was on it.
Yeah.
He was on fire all weekend, like he fires up them joints.
I'm not giving this one a grade, though. You guys can.
I'm giving it a grade. I give it a grade G for green, motherfucker.
G money.
Or a D for dope. How about we give it a D for dope and dog? You know what I'm saying?
All right, Matt. The time has come.
Let's get into it.
Edge versus Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell. Let's hear it. Matt, the floor is yours. I'm just going to sit back, put my hands back, and listen.
This match should have been the highlight match of Sunday night. And if this match would have gone the way it should have, without what happened, and the way I predicted it, this would have been the match of both nights. Let's start off with Edge's entrance. We'll go there first. The mask. Stupid. He looked like the crystal ball from Scooby-Doo and the freaking, whatever that island was. What was that? Spooky Island or whatever the hell it was. That was the stupidest mask I've ever freaking seen. What the hell were you thinking? 2 on that. The fire coming up with Brood written on his thing. The leather freaking trench coat. A+. A freaking plus. You really wanted to wow me? Before he came up, when he came up, he should have had 2 hooded figures with him. Reveal them. Gangrel and Christian. That would have wowed me. They slipped because obviously Christian is still under contract with AEW and made his promo return yesterday night.
But he was given permission by Tony Khan to appear at WrestleMania.
I know he was. But do you think Vince McMahon and them were going to allow somebody from AEW to come in and make an appearance, especially as a character that they created?
Why not? They have Tony Khan's brother as a president right now.
At right now, but as of the pay-per-view. So, I wish they would have done that a little better. I loved it. I love that. Now, let's get to the best part. Finn Balor as the Demon King. One of the best personas that have, I'll say this, one of the top tier, most phenomenal wrestlers alongside AJ Styles and a few others to ever grace the stage with one of the best character gimmicks ever. Comes out, he's got the spikes on the head now. All right, yeah, I liked it better when it wasn't spikes. It was the long drapes that looked like dreadlocks, kind of. That would have wowed me even more. Now let's get to the match. Finn Balor and him were putting on a show. A show. All of a sudden, we kept hearing reports that his shoulder or arm was lacerated. This match didn't go as far as it did because of the injuries sustained in it, and I think the outcome was supposed to be different. They went a different route because of it. Finn Balor, after the match, received 14 staples to his head. Okay? Edge threw that, and granted, this is what happens when steel, fiberglass, metal, meat, flesh, and bone. Anything unpredictable can happen. It did. An injury that shouldn't have happened occurred. Okay. Now, you've got a guy who took a thing to the head. He's going to have 14 staples. He's concussed. Granted, we've seen wrestlers win matches that way back in the past. I think during the match, during the whole thing, it was kind of I believe that Edge wasn't supposed to win this. I believe Finn Balor was supposed to win this. The accident happened. It kind of somehow got a communication to each other that, hey, we need to change this. We need to change this. We need to change this. Edge then takes him out. This match had the potential to be the biggest thing, and it wasn't even the main match of both nights. This had the potential to be the best match ever. Up there with Mick Foley getting thrown off of the cage. Right there is the Rock-Austin rivalry. And we wind up with an injury and a finish that a lot of people are Edge fans, of course, so they wanted this. But a lot of people that thought the Demon has never lost. Even with a separated shoulder, the Demon has never lost.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I'm pissed.
No, well, like when he gets cut open, they pan away from him so you don't see him. They're trying to then they slowly possess on Edge. It's like what the hell? It's because of the fucking ratings, okay?
No, it's because of your PG-13 or your PG bullshit again.
Yeah.
When it was PG, what was it? It wasn't PG-13 back then. What was it? TV-14. Yeah. That's what it was when we were there. TV-14. When we had TV-14, you could see blood. You could see Austin gushing blood in the ring. You could see this person getting smacked with a chair. You could see this person getting hit with a kendo stick. Now it's so freaking babied, it's not even worth watching sometimes. Like, oh, they bring a chair shot in. To the back. I get it. Concussion protocols. I really don't want to see people injured with concussions, having CTE down the road in their late futures, having memory problems, shit like that. But at the same time, you're trained professionals. You guys have talked about this. If you can't get your hands up just a bink and take some of it off, like how Austin them did, where their hands hit it and made it look worse than what it was. Yeah, your head still hit, but it was like as your hands are taking a blow.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't get mad at you last night, but like I feel with him getting busted open, it just changed the whole dynamic of the match.
Changed the outcome too, I believe.
Yeah,
I want to believe that.
Well, I think if he doesn't get busted open, okay, then you see Gangrel and more people get involved in this match.
But I don't think any of them were there.
Yeah, they were all backstage. They were taking
How do we
photo
know?
ops all. They were taking photo ops all weekend.
What-
Gangrel was in SoFi Stadium. They were gonna bring these people out, but then you get Ben Vail busted open. He's already bleeding, so they're going.
All right,
the
I can
whole
see that because then
gimmick.
you bring up a Brood versus Judgment Day freaking match down the road.
Yeah.
I can see that, but I mean, still, you're right. It changed the dynamic of the match, but I think it changed the outcome too. Because even if you have Gangrel come down, even if say Christian was there, and the Judgment Day, and they all clear out, now it's just those two in the ring again. I don't see the Demon losing this. No way in hell.
I agree with you on that, but they teased it before with the Edge with the whole red liquid coming down from the ceiling, just like the old Brood. If Ben Vail doesn't get busted open, you actually see that happen Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's these goddamn corny ass ratings that are killing WWE. Back in the day, it would have been 10 times better.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I kind of grade this one. I've really thought long and hard about this because you know how much I was looking forward to this fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually giving this one a B-, and that's being generous because I really want to call this a C to C- because of WWE's lack of being a little bit more involved with, hey, he's busted open. Oh well, that's ratings.
Yeah.
B, the fact that even with him busted open, you could have relayed to both of them a way for Finn to still win this match. Whether the Brood or whatever Judgment Day come out or not. Because in all honesty, you just set the Demon up for never again can he like really wrestle in a match because he's already lost. It's just like the Undertaker streak. It takes one person to beat it and then it's done forever.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that. Chris, what do you think?
Well, first off, I want to say that Finn Balor's outfit and costume, makeup, the whole 9 yards was absolutely awesome.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I love.
Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
No, I think the match changed when Finn Balor got hurt, and it just took the momentum right out of it.
I could agree with that.
I'll definitely agree with that one.
What would you grade it, Chris?
I give it a B.
You guys are going to be shocked when I say this. I'm going to incomplete it because I think they could have done more with it.
And incomplete it?
No, I don't accept that. As co-host of this show, you're giving a grade. You're not incompleting this. I don't even care if you give it an F. You're giving it a grade.
C.
Okay. Thank you.
You
made me feel better now.
I just feel that if you don't have Bill get busted wide open, this match...
It does set up more. Johnny, it does. You're right. I'm going to fully agree with you. He doesn't get busted open there. It opens up a whole dynamic that me and you both talked about this match prior to it, that this match was going to be gold.
Yeah.
Now, do you think if he doesn't get hurt, do you think they get up on top of the cage like they did with the Undertaker match? Do you think they're up on the cage fighting if he's not hurt?
I see Edge doing one of two things. Edge climbs Edge and him are battling on the side of it, right? Because like Edge is trying to get the way the Edge mindset is right now and the way the character's built, he's not going to back away from a fight, so he's never going to run. But with the Demon being as aggressive as he can be sometimes, Edge gets that little look in his face like he's pissed, but at the same time he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. I gotta get a break from this guy. I would have seen Edge climbing up, them fighting up the side, getting up to the top, a back body drop onto it. But because of the WWE and their safety issues, if they got up there, I see them throwing punches, laying down, and then one of them climbing down. Yeah. Maybe a back body drop on a well-secured spot of the chain link. But I wish that if Balor didn't get hurt, I do see them up there. I really do, even if it's just for a fist fight.
Yeah, because you won't see what you saw with Shane McMahon and The Undertaker and Shane dropping an elbow off the top of his face.
I mean, you could have. But with the way Edge's back and neck is, as old as he is, the injuries that Finn Balor sustained, the hot streak that both of these guys are on right now with their character gimmicks, no, you're not going to put them at that much risk, especially with a PG show right now.
Yeah. I mean, Sporting News gave it a B. So you guys were both on the B level. All right. Last match for the main event of the night. Matt, can I get a Let's Get Ready to Rumble?
Let's get ready to rumble!
You had the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
This match was shit.
Disappointment.
No.
Yep. This match had, again, another match that had potential to be a match of the night, match of WrestleMania, a gold tier match. And you literally spit in the face of the industry on this one. Literally spit in the face of the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns didn't win this match on his own in my eyes because, again, somebody had to interfere in his match and he keeps the title.
How many people interfered, though?
We had the Usos at first, and they get taken out by KO and Sammy.
Yep.
And
then you have Solo Sikoa capitalized. You had the wise man.
Well,
you had the wise man
was kicked out of the ringside. He got kicked out, and then he came back in.
Yeah, he snuck back in. Which, granted, you give it like in any faction, you got to have that guy that's like, all right, you think of him as just that muscle guy, like he's thrown out. Nobody's gonna see this big a guy coming back in the ring, and all of a sudden he sneaks back in just a fucking hoodie. Now, I wanted to give this match more, but like, number one, he won by hook or crook. It's stupid ending. Cody Rhodes should have been the champion right there. He really should have been the champion. Not just because I wanted him to win, but because the hot streak that he is on right now, the passion that he's got right now being back in WWE. And it's one of those things where if you have Cody take out Reigns, and I mean take out Reigns, like really, really take him out. Solo Sikoa tries to jump back in. Cody wins it. Okay, Cody's got the title. They beat the hell out of Cody afterwards, right? Beat the hell out of him. Cody gets not laid up. He's laid up for a week. Doesn't make it to Raw. Doesn't make it to SmackDown. The following week, he comes and addresses everybody with the title. Now you set up a match of the next pay-per-view is going to be Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare in a no DQ match. Sets up for bigger bust, bigger pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, Chris, you said to me the other day, you really think they're going to put the biggest belt in the company on a former AEW star who left your company to go start his own, then came back? Granted, the storytelling, the cinematography, so all there, but you really going to let someone who left your company to start his own, then came back, and I don't know, it's just a mess.
I mean, they had the guy, for God's sakes, he won the Royal Rumble. So you would think that after winning the Royal Rumble, you would get him to be the champion after winning the whole Royal Rumble match.
True.
Yep. See, did any of you see the video that they posted on WWE.com or WWE's like TikTok page and all that of the after effects of that night with Cody Rhodes?
No.
So I love how WWE. Okay, so before I get into that, you know how WWE is now having interviews after the match and all that, and they're actually not just talking as their personas; they're also talking like they're normal human beings, like how New Japan did and now AEW does here and there. It's pretty cool. Well, there's a video of Cody Rhodes sitting down in a chair after this match, and next to him is a bag. that says, it's got a note on it on a piece of cardboard that's sitting on top of his bag, and it says, "Hope this still fits." And the sign is just an H. He opens it up, and it's his old Stardust costume.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
I laughed so hard because I'm like, reading and listening to what Cody Rhodes said about the whole Stardust character is just like his brother. They were put into positions that were supposed to be, we want to get this guy to quit by doing this damn stupid gimmick. And what did Dustin do? He ran with it and made it his own, and it was like gold. Hence Gold Dust. Stardust was supposed to be that thing that got Cody to quit. And his brother told him, "Don't you let them get to you. This is something they're trying to do to tell you what to do. Make a decision for you. Turn it on them." And they did. And it worked. It was the stupidest gimmick in the world. A lot of people hated it. I thought it was great because you got Dustin and Cody together as a tag team doing weird, crazy shit together.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope they don't bring back Stardust, though.
I think it was just a joke, like a quick, like, ha ha ha, this is where you're at now, kid. You came back, you couldn't make it on the main stage. This is your next thing.
Yeah.
I hope he dons it, like comes out in it with like a hood on, so he's not face painted up. You just can't see him. And he comes out in it and rips it off into like some new American Nightmare gear and stands there in the ring and goes, "You want it? Here's your shit. Come get it," and drops it. Let Triple H come walking out of the ring. "I'm the game. You know who I am?" "Yeah, I know who you are." Right across the mouth and lay Triple H out. I mean, dude, do it. What the fuck's he gonna do? He ain't gonna pedigree you. He's too old to blow out both his knees. And I love Triple H.
Triple H can't be in the ring anymore anyway because of the stents that he has in his heart.
Yep.
He's completely. He said, "It sucks I never got my full retirement match, but I can't risk it anymore."
No, he can't. And you know what? He's a better behind the scenes guy now too, because of what he learned doing the shit that he did.
Yeah, then why is Vince taking back creative from him then?
Because he doesn't like the way that he's running it, because it's not the Vince McMahon way.
Considering they changed Monday Night Raw.
Vince just needs to go away, man. Vince needs to go away.
I think the McMahon family needs to lock him up into an insane asylum and just put on nothing but WWE from back when it was WWF to now. So during the day, before live shows go on, he's got to watch all the stupid shit that he did, all the mistakes he did throughout the years, and then watch what Triple H does. And then it'll be like, "Oh, I'm not insane. Look at this. He's doing a good job. Oh.
Well,
My name's Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Oh.
Why do you think Stephanie left?
Dude, Stephanie was making moves on the side. I know that they bought into a partnership, I think, with FaZe Clan at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Just like Snoop Dogg is a part of FaZe. I believe there's money there behind WWE that's in with FaZe, which is great, But it's one of those things where I think Vince years ago, right after Triple H couldn't wrestle no more, if you get with Triple H, keep running the show your way, Vince, but talk with Triple H and get with it about, "Hey, man, we really need a new Attitude Era. Yeah. We bring it back this way. We bring back group. We don't bring back groups. We make new groups." Or me and Sean go out for a night and we tear ass through this, tear ass through that. And then we get into one last match, even though I can't. Sean does it. Sean gets whooped. We go back to our respective things. And then one night we're getting clowned and these two step up and you got the new DX.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that. I mean, because back in the Attitude Era, like, every match seemed like a main event.
Oh, yeah. Plus, there was a lot more blood, shit like that. You had bigger rivalries going on. Like, the Master Lock Challenge was the stupidest gimmick in the world, but it was filler for TV. Yeah. Between TV times, because you couldn't have this match go 40 minutes and this match go 40 minutes. So you're like, "Hey, man, give it like 10 minutes here. That takes 5 off of it. That's a 35-minute match we got, including break times."
True. What else they should also look at doing, dropping that third hour. Fuck 3 hour Monday Night Raw. Go back to that simple 9 to 11. You get less story time, and you actually get more action.
Bring Bray Wyatt back. You need the story time.
I understand that, but some of that third hour is the worst anymore. You have all that talking that first hour. You get maybe 4 matches all night, and then that
Yeah.
main event is so squashed in the 11-minute window.
Do you think that they do all that extra because they can't do what AEW's doing with like 3 hours? Because AEW has an extensive roster to where they have the show on Wednesday night, the show on Friday night, right? They
Okay.
have Wednesday night dark. They have so much talent. They have to have 3 shows and they're a couple hours apiece.
Yeah, well, if you have the roster for it, then absolutely.
That's what I mean. Do you think WWE's roster is so depleted with actual talent that, granted, you have NXT, you have SmackDown, you have Raw, but do you think it's so depleted that that's why they're doing all this extra filler because they don't know what the frick to do?
Yeah, they don't have that much talent. I would imagine.
Well, they don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
But we can save all that stuff for another fun night.
All right, so I'm grading this match and I hate saying this because I love Cody Rhodes, man. I really do. Giving it a C.
Chris?
I give it a B-.
Yeah, I'd be in that B- C plus range myself, but I mean, you have so much potential to make it such a match. You build it up, so. No, we got my buddy Mark in the chat. Hold on. The whole Raw show made no sense. Why had the Street Profits win a big match at WrestleMania, turn right back around and get squashed by KO and Sammy?
Because KO and Sammy are the champions right now, and they got to establish dominance going into anything, and it sets up a bigger rivalry.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good question. I mean, really, it is because a lot of people were thinking that, like, why not have the Street Profits be like the second team standing in that match, and then come out and challenge KO and Sammy as backups, and then have the people that won the match go later on down the road to face them. I get that. But, I mean, to show their dominance right now, it's just like how the Usos had to show it. You have to be ruthless and aggressive, and they got to show that they can do that. Otherwise, why did they win it in the first place? They should have just left it on the Usos at that point.
yeah. But, like, normally, most of the time, what you would see is, like, a team like the Street Fighter, say they win, like, a big tag team match. Then they go challenge the challengers the next night, and they actually win, and then it sets up that match down the road. So
Yeah.
unless this is the sort of a back and forth type of thing.
It's probably going to be a back and forth type thing. Like, the Street Profits are going to be, we won here, we're in line for the titles, and this team's going to go, bitch, you ain't entitled for nothing. And with Matt Riddle coming back, and it's rumored Randy Orton's coming back.
Well, he was
RK Bro. RK Bro, dude.
Is he really coming back?
Yeah, he was spotted in LA all weekend.
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't pull him out at WrestleMania.
You get RKO back, you get Randy back, and all of a sudden Matt Riddle comes out to him, and they're not beefing. They're back to welcoming each other and all this, and all of a sudden, the not the Street Profits, somebody like a bad guy tag team comes out, starts talking shit, whatever. They whoop the shit out of them. It prompts a match. Now all of a sudden another team comes in to jump them. The Street Profits come in to help them. Now it's them face to face in the ring. And it's like, okay, thanks for helping us. It sets up now a bigger tag match between RK Bro and the Street Profits. Then you have that match, and it's like, okay, do we make it a triple threat match for the tag titles, or do we see who the winner is and becomes number one contender?
Yeah, I mean, Riddle just needs to stay off the damn drugs.
Well, Matt Riddle came back at Monday Night Raw on Monday, and he beat the crap out of Miz again.
Yep.
Of course he did. He loves beating up on Miz.
But that's just to get him back on TV.
Oh, yeah.
He had been suspended for 60 days and had to go to rehab and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
But now
substance abuse policies.
But now the question is, when do you actually bring Randy Orton back into the picture?
You got to see how healthy Randy is. Randy's not going to come back at 80%. Randy's going to come back at 120. He doesn't want to come back and re-injure.
Doesn't he have a back issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also,
he's been straight. You can tell. You watch. When he comes back from this injury, if you remember when he was that scrawny kid and he got injured and then he came back and he was like jack. He was a little more jack. You watch. Randy Orton's back is going to be the way Batista's looked. You're going to see more back muscle on him to help support and also take the hits from it.
Yeah, I mean.
So the whole night show, it's got to be a C, an average C. The whole Sunday night.
For Sunday night? Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I'd give it like a C minus.
I mean, I guess we're all.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in the Sunday night show than I was compared to Saturday.
Saturday by far was a much better night.
Oh yeah, Saturday. Oh my God, was amazing.
And who was it that came out and said, "Oh, you think Saturday night was good? Wait till Sunday night; it's gonna be 10 times better." Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. I call bullshit. Bullshit, Eddie.
Mm-hmm. So Matt, the final score was 11-8.
Well, you whooped my ass on that one.
Yeah, the next pay-per-view.
Three. You had 3 more. What did I say this week? I knew you had 3 more than me.
Yeah, 2 or 3. You said, yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So the next pay-per-view is the one in Puerto Rico. I don't know.
When is the next pay-per-view? What is it? The end of April?
I will tell you 1 second. Let me look. Hold on.
I think it's the first week in May, ain't it?
I will tell you 1 second.
Tell me it's Cinco de Mayo. Tell me it's May 5th.
Next pay-per-view. Here we go. Backlash 2023, May 6th.
The day. Oh, really? You got to do it so close to Cinco de Mayo.
Mark says the only reason I even give Sunday a C was because the IC title match. It would have been an F without that match.
Yep.
I think we all agree with that.
I could definitely agree with that. So the day after my birthday, we have Backlash.
In Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico, a day after Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
And then you actually have 2 in that month.
One of them's a Saudi Arabia one, isn't it?
Yep, May 27th is King and Queen of the Ring 2023.
I get it. We're going over there. We're bringing it. They love it over there. They really do. But King and Queen of the Ring, I guess we're getting a little PC now, which is fine. I get it. I'm all for whatever. But King and Queen of the Ring, this is where you really need to show us that WWE is not stale.
Sure.
Especially with bringing back surprise people. Like the Royal Rumble entrance, right? You know, there's always been King in the Ring. It's usually a King in the Ring Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to wow me? 2 entrants don't make it in for some strange reason because somebody who's not in a match, who's feuding with them, beat the hell out of them. And now all of a sudden your 2 surprise entrants are like somebody like a Randy Orton or an old school guy that just came back because he was there or something, you know?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like Mike was saying, the whole Monday night show completely sucked because normally that Monday night after WrestleMania, you have a lot of people come back or you have a lot of call-ups that NXT's bringing up. The only fucking person that came back was Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Like, that shit. I mean, you take your biggest show of the year and you completely fuck it up.
This is what happens in the day of the World Wrestling Federation, dude.
No, this is what happens when Vince McMahon wants to rewrite a whole entire show 20 minutes before it goes on the air.
Yeah, well, 20 minutes before that show went on the air, they changed the script.
Yep.
They changed the script with 20 minutes left to go before the show started, and they redid the whole thing.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was cool that Triple H came out and cut the promo he did, saying, yes, the rumors are true, we sold, but WWE is not going anywhere. Well,
the reason it's not going anywhere is you can't take the name away. If you took the name away and changed it to something else, everybody would abandon it.
Yeah, what? WWF?
Like when it went from WWF to WWE because the World Wildlife Federation had a conniption about it that, oh, we've been around for so long and you can't have the same name as us. You're making people... Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. It was the World Wrestling Federation.
Shut up.
You fucking pansies. Fucking jabronis. I swear to God, these damn jabronis.
So, after King and Queen, July 1st, you have Money in the Bank over in London.
Money in the Bank, I'm definitely looking forward to. That's where it's going to make or break titles. That's where it's going to make or break what happens for the following year leading up to the next WrestleMania.
So, Mark has a question that I have an easy answer to. So, is Brock turning heel setting him up to get back with Paul Heyman? No.
No. I don't see them getting back together. I see I see what Roman was saying about, like, do you know, have you seen this person? Like, did you know he was going to be here? Did you know he was going to be here? Granted, it could happen, but if it does, I think Brock, with the way he assimilated Cody Rhodes that night and then flipped off everybody, you're going to get that Cody Brock thing. You're going to. You're going to get that Nightmare versus the Beast match. You're going to get one. You're going to get it, hook or crook.
Okay, well, put it.
Okay, go ahead.
All I'm saying about that real quick, if you get Brock versus Cody, that's gonna be the last match you see Lesnar in WWE because his contract is up.
Yes, and think about this: with it being UFC, WWE now, Lesnar doesn't have to change contracts. All he's got to do is, even if he's still under contract, over to UFC.
And Chris was saying that too. I mean, Survivor Series 2023. Mark my words, it's gonna be Team UFC versus Team WWE.
It could happen. The only problem is
that could happen. You see that happening.
But the only problem is it's not going to be UFC rules. All these UFC people are going to need to go through training. Yeah. They're going to have to learn the sports entertainment.
Yeah, that's my question. Are they going to be able to do what they do in UFC, or are they going to have it where they're going to be WWE wrestlers and have to do all the WWE things?
It's going to be WWE, because you're not going to take a guy like Ricochet and put him against Max Holloway in a fucking fist fight. Because Max Holloway, no offense to anybody, like, granted, some of these guys can scrap, but you're not going to put Max Holloway in a match with Ricochet with gloves on doing MMA shit, because Max Holloway will kill him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I see it being, some of these guys are going to be cross-trained to be sports entertainers, and those ones that do are going to be more involved in that, like, mesh of, like, fist fighting and stuff like that for that kind of brawl, whereas others are just going to be in there kind of like fake holding them or fake doing this where it's fake because they're not fully trained. Then it's going to go, okay, UFC guys are going to be fighting on this night. This person's there, jumps over after he wins the match, and it becomes from a real fight to now it's sports entertainment. You know what I mean?
Well, my question is, now going forward, could you see possibly Conor McGregor versus Roman Reigns?
Why would you even put Conor against that bum?
Well, because he's been harping at Paul Heyman.
Hold on. First off, if you're going to give Conor McGregor anybody out of that WWE, you need to give him a man who can fight.
Okay, who you got?
Who do I got?
Yeah.
Please. I want one person only, Sheamus. Or Pete Dunne.
That would be a good one. Pete Dunne in Conor. Okay. I can see that.
Now, Roman Reigns, like, I see Conor doing, like, because Conor's boxing right now, not really doing the MMA shit, but he's always training, and I follow Conor on every social media there is. I mean, and this is a shameless plug, but if you've never seen Notorious, the Conor McGregor story, you need to watch it. That shit was by far a masterpiece in its own right. But I see Conor doing some sports entertainment shit.
Okay,
so who does WWE get to go against Roman Reigns now? Who do they get to try to take his belt or his belts?
This is a wow factor. Like, we all know Randy Orton's coming back. Mm-hmm. Do we have a night, even with everything going on in the bloodline, do we have a night where they're doing like a little mini celebration or a mini chief, tribal meeting out in the ring, and all of a sudden Roman says, no, but I'm still the baddest. I'm still the head of the table. And all of a sudden, like, Randy's music hits and they all go out of the ring towards the front entrance. And all of a sudden, Randy does his normal, slithers in, RKO out of nowhere, like he did to Lesnar when Lesnar held the title. And then, like, because what was Paul Heyman's thing? You're not man enough to get Brock Lesnar in an RKO. You're not smart enough to get him in an RKO. You'll never. And then right there, just out of nowhere, the RKO. And then Randy's pointing at his back, like, out of nowhere. And then left. I could see something like that setting up Randy Orton, Roman Reigns for the title. Granted, he's just coming back. But you have that match to where the Usos and Sikoa could get involved. Riddle comes out, helps out his bro, and now it's RK Bro versus the Usos. They beat that. Now it's, hey, Reigns, I want your ass. Riddle's at ringside. The Usos aren't because the Usos are like injured or whatnot. And then you have on the other side, you have Sikoa and the Wise Man, and then you have that battle. And then all of a sudden, Randy Orton wins the title. Roman Reigns goes out for a while.
Or could you split the bloodline up even more and have Solo turn on Roman?
I would love to see Solo just turn on him and go, I'm the head of the table now, and walk off. Just quick Samoan Spike to, I'm head of the table now, and walk off. And the Wise Man just stands there. And when Sikoa goes, now, Paul goes with him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Could happen. But that's all fan theory, and that's what we do here. We love painting pictures for people. We're like Bob Ross. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll paint you a little happy tree over here.
You want to know what my fantasy match is? I wish The Undertaker was like 20 years younger. I would love to see The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns for the title.
Back in the day, yeah, for sure. Nowadays,
I hate to say this, and this is one of my favorite things. I would love to see, and I'm going against all my things because I got a lot of great wrestlers I love watching. I would take RVD in his prime back in ECW, and I would love to put him and Ricochet in a title match for like a TV or Intercontinental title at like a main pay-per-view. That match would by far be 5-star.
Oh, easily. I don't know. I'll have to think about my fantasy matchup. I'll have one next week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But, yeah, I mean, April 6th and 7th, 2024, WrestleMania 40 comes to Philly.
Philly!
So, but...
Dude, that's going to be off the hook.
Yeah.
Lincoln Financial Field's going to be burned to the ground after this one.
I hope they got good insurance.
Oh, they better.
But that's a year out. Like, it's actually a year out from today, so who the hell knows what the whole landscape
it can still happen, though, bro. I mean, like, by the time the landscape comes, we'll start knowing what's going to happen. But we got to get through this whole next year from this crappy WrestleMania to what we could have next year with everybody returning with more money now to purchase more acquisitions to bring in to make the roster better, money to keep certain acquisitions that could leave that you could run real spots with. I mean, the sky's the limit right now. They just need to tool it the way to make it right, change a few dynamics, change a few rivalries, bring in some talent, see where it goes. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. What do you think?
I agree.
I mean, we'll be back next Thursday. I mean, I'm sure me and Matt could whip up another fun 2-hour show talking old school wrestling.
2 hours. I think we're at 2.5 right now, dude. And I think this is the second longest, if not the longest show we've ever done.
Well, I did a 3-hour show.
Yeah, it says 2 minutes and 28. 2 hours and 28 minutes. It says on my.
John, you didn't do a turnbuckle with me for 3 hours. I'm talking the Turnbuckle show.
Okay, well then, yes, this is the longest Turnbuckle show.
Yes,
but
longest Turnbuckle show we've done.
The longest basement show I did was a Super Bowl preview. We hit 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, we could do more than that on this show, but we want to keep the fans in anticipation of what's happening next. Always leave them wanting more, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said we'll stop there for tonight, and if they want more, they can come back next Thursday.
You got it.
I mean, I'm sure we can come up with
Sounds like a plan.
Hell yeah.
Coming back to Chris?
Oh, hell yeah. I'd love to have Chris come back. Yeah.
We'll give Chris the homework then for the week. Chris, you have the show topic for next week.
Aha! Here we go.
All right.
But I appreciate everybody hanging out. I mean, we had Curtis in the chat for a while. We had my buddy Mark. Jack stopped by. Morgan giving Matt a hard time, which is always appreciated.
Yep.
Ron. We had Gary popping with a what's up. Who else? Curtis on Twitch. Yeah. Slow chat night, but...
Hey, it's always good to have chat. I mean, no matter if it's one or two. It's always somebody in there feeding us more to give us more ammunition to keep going, brother.
Wow, right before the end of the night, you got a wise up from K5 on Twitch and Curtis on Facebook. And he says, I'll send a pancake with syrup every time I say it. So, I think that's 5 pancakes you're done for the night. So,
from me to the Basement Show, I always want to say thank you. Chris, thank you for being on and making this very interesting. It was a pleasure having you with us. Johnny, as always, you know me.
This was
love you.
Fun, man.
Yeah. And as always, to all my fans, I always say what's up, but I always leave with a word of wisdom, and that is, friendship. You see it. We're all here. And I'll check you later. Peace.
Yeah, I mean...
Later.
Thanks for hanging out with us. I will be back tomorrow night for Friday Night Movie Night with Mr. Ron. We're going to dive into some type of funny movie list. But other than that, thanks everyone for hanging out. And we will see you on the next one. Where's my thing at? Have a good night.